important topic, and that's a topic of weed whacking. Go to Manscaped, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code FAB. And usually, when we talk about plucking those nose hairs and doing trimming around the ears and whatnot, most of us are used to doing that with weapons such as this. While effective, they can be cumbersome. They can prove to be cumbersome. And everyone's personal favorite is also this beauty, something like this. Whilst very effective, it's also hard because sometimes you don't have the right extension cords and whatnot. So Manscaped has given us this, the Weed Whacker. The Weed Whacker is skin safe. It has a replaceable head. It has high performance motor, so premium 9,000 RPM motor powers. This is something that you would have probably seen in a World War II aeroplane prior to this. And unlike the hedge trimmer, it's cordless and rechargeable, so you can use it anywhere and you can take it with you. And it's really, really a pretty amazing product. It has a smart design. It's intelligently contoured design for you to be able to grip it easily, and it's not going to slip out of your hand, which is an amazing segue to the next part of it, which is that fact that it's waterproof, so you can use it in the shower and whatnot. So this is a pretty amazing piece of machinery here for all of us that need it. And everyone needs it, because you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be the person that has the nose hairs and the ear hairs sticking out. My dad used to take me to a barber in Liverpool, and ironically, this barber, it was an older guy, had the worst hairs coming out of his ears and the worst hairs coming out of his nose. And always, as a little kid, I used to always watch that. So I never wanted that myself. So please, Manscaped, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code FAB. Thank you, people. Had some technical difficulties there, but saved at the end there. Thank God. Hello, guys. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you very much, guys. Big night of fights today. Chase Dover says, see you soon, mate. See you, Chase Dover. Thank you for being here. Tommy LeBlanc says, hello from Louisiana. Thanks for the show. How are you, sir? KG says, Manscaped needs to give you a pay rise for that promo. Agreed, sir. So Saint says, greetings from Toronto, Fab. Thank you, sir. Drew says, John Morgan here with the first question. Did you watch the JWP versus Nicky fight last night? Unfortunately, I did not. I wanted to, but had my daughter had to go pick her up and had a whole thing at my mum's house. So I wasn't able to, unfortunately, but it was right. I will watch it. With the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0, fend off predators. Yes, sir. Randy says, hey. Guys, let me know who you think is going to win this main event and why. Let me know. I'm not interested in the predictions. Please don't just say to me, Kamaru is going to smash him. Don't tell me that. Tell me why you think he's going to beat him. That's what interests me. The same as Weili versus Namajunas. Tell me who you think will win in that one, why, and how. And Shevchenko versus Andrade, why and how. And the other two I'm really pumped to watch as well. Great guy, one of my favorite fighters of all time. And also light heavyweights, Anthony Smith versus Jimmy Crute. Jimmy Crute, obviously, he's been on the podcast as well. Spent time with him, trained with him. So my heart's with Jimmy. Anthony Smith is going to be a big test. So it should be interesting. The mic was far away. I'm back. Yes, this is interesting. Shevchenko will win by early second round stoppage, says Chris Stepien. Yeah, Shevchenko winning. I don't know if it's by second round stoppage, but I do see her picking her apart. I see that Shevchenko has way too many tools on the feet. She's a good grappler as well. outside of Andrade catching her with something like cracking a chin, I don't see Shevchenko losing one. As far as know that one, man. I can't pick that one. That one's going to be a close one. And then when we have the main event there, Usman versus Masvidal, I don't know that one. I really don't know because Usman has shown me that he knows how to win. He knows how to win every single time. I'm interested to see how Masvidal having a proper camp where he's been able to prepare specifically for someone, knowing that he's going to fight that person. I'm I'm interested to see how he's going to go. I really am. Um, I think it may be a little bit. I see Usman just it being Usman's time, and so I see that being a bit of a difficult thing. But the way that Masvidal strikes is very fluid, and Usman tends to be a little bit mechanical with his striking, and I think that's something that Masvidal can exploit. Can he keep it on the feet though? I don't know. I really don't know, but he can definitely he can definitely piece him up on the feet. I think in this fight moving forward. Having said that, though, I see Usman as just being his time. There's a time in people's lives, man, when it's just their time, and that's all that can be done. Best thing you can do is avoid fighting them while it's their time. Um, okay, sorry if I missed anyone. Juice says I don't see it going very different for Usman versus Masvidal. I imagine George will try to inflict maximum damage, but Kamaru will go to wrestling and simply out grapple him. Juice, he could, he could. Although I do think that Masvidal is a very, very good grappler himself. He has been out grappled, but only by the very, very best. And I mean, Usman in the first fight did manage to do that. Um, I don't know what this is going to look like this time around, especially the fact that they've already fought each other. It could be look completely different. So it's very interesting. I'm actually really, really pumped for that fight. King Carrot says anything can happen with these judges. Yeah, but yeah, Royce C says, yo, 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 it's been a great card so far already and so much to still look forward to. Yes, sir. Tommy LeBlanc says, Doug Rose says, punch him in the face, take their back and choke him out. Cool mantra. Yes, sir. Chris Stepien. Masvidal upset, lands a freak temple shot and then follows with strikes. Could be early. AZZE says, I think Weili versus Rose will be close in the early rounds, but I see Weili overtaking in the later rounds, finishing strong and winning a decision. Yeah, man, I definitely could see Weili doing that. Weili's very she's got very impressive striking. I'm really, really impressed with the striking, in particular her striking. And she's smart the way she fights as well. Jay Farrell says, I think Usman is able to control the fight similar to the first. I see the bullet picking Andrade apart before weathering a few storms. After weathering a few storms, I see Zhang winning by decision. I kind of agree with you as well. I think that however, if Masvidal can start stuffing a few of those shots of Usman's early on, I think the chances for Masvidal to win increase a lot. I don't like if Usman can't get him down early and waste a bit of energy doing that. Having said that, look, I will say this: anything can happen. Like I'm a Masvidal fan as well, but I do know that Usman right now knows how to win and is able to exploit that, and he's very, very good at doing that. Um, Manny says, I have a bad feeling Masvidal is going to use a lot of leg kicks tonight, which might mess Usman up. Could do. He could do. He could do. Tommy LeBlanc, Usman is so strong, but I'm rooting for Game Bread. Sasank says there should be a card where the coaches fight each other. Well, Ngannou would win. Ngannou would win. Bolo Bolo, hey Fab, hope you're going well, mate. I shaved my beard off today and started a new job. Man, I regret it. Good luck, man. Good luck. Good luck, man. Honestly, good luck with that. Um, I feel for you. I hope it all goes well. I'm very, very lucky so far. I enjoy what I'm doing, so I'm 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 enjoying it. So good luck to you, my friend. Randy says it's a little lagging for me. Sorry, guys, if it is lagging. Um, Let me know if it is lagging. I can't do anything about that. I'm sorry, guys. Zachary Ferrer says, love to see you, Fab. You are the biracial apple of my eye. Thank you, Zachary. I really appreciate it. HLB Coma says, string quality is as high as the amount of hair on Fab's head. HLB Coma says it's better now. Juice, I think this is an underrated card. I'm very excited for these fights. I am too. I'm actually really pumped for Weidman versus Uriah Hall. I'm really, really pumped for that one. Weili has superhuman athleticism. Sasank Fab, would you fight Jake Paul? Depends on what they paid me. Honestly, it depends on what they paid me, but he's a lot bigger than me. He's a lot bigger than me. I'm not a fighter to begin with. He's a lot bigger than me, and it'd depend on what they pay me, to be honest with you, because he's a boxer. I'm not a boxer, and I'm not like, I'm all banged up. I've got to get a knee replacement. I can't even fucking roll. But if they paid me the right money, I'd give it a shot. But it'd be no. But you know who should fight him in a boxing match? Eli should fight him in a boxing match, not me. You know, Eli should do that because he's a boxer. I'm not a boxer. When's the fight's going to start? I'd imagine the next few minutes. Mubayo. Yeah, but it depends on what they pay me. Manny, who do you think will be the next king at lightweight? It's always like I said, what we were just talking about Usman a second ago. It's hard because there's people that hit their prime, they hit that age, they hit like everything just goes together, you know, at a particular time in their life. And it's not even something you can quantify, even give a qualitative response for. And lightweight has a few of those guys, you know, like that could be that person. Um, and so it's hard to say. I don't know if they'll have a king right now because that kind of dominant guy that stays there for a long time comes along not every year, you know, not all the time. Might that belt might exchange hands a few times, but I definitely think Chandler's going to be a perennial contender for the next couple of years for sure. Dan Hooker, I know that I'm a Dan Hooker fanboy, but still, Dan Hooker looks to me like always to be like just there, you know, like fucking just there. And I think he might be able to maybe just turn the trick on a couple of things and it could be him, you know. You don't know. You don't know these things. Charles Oliveira is another one. But then there's people that are just coming through, you know. Mahashev, of course, Islam, Gregor Gillespie. There's a whole bunch of guys. Brad Riddell, someone that could easily be that person. So yeah, it's just like I don't know. You look at middleweight. I think there's two guys in the middleweight division that are clearly in that zone, and that's Israel and Rob. They're clearly in that zone where, and a lot of that's got to do with your maturity and your age and whatnot. When you guys get to that 30, you're at your physical peak, but you also start to make the right decisions, you know, which they're also hard to quantify. They're not things that you go, I'm making this decision. They're things that you just start to put together through having been in life, you know what I mean? Like lessons that you've learned, et cetera, et cetera. And you just put them together and yeah, it makes it very, very hard to beat. And I think that Usman is in that zone right now. It doesn't mean he can't get beat. Of course, he can get beat, but I think he is in that zone. He knows how to win. He knows what he needs to do. Um, and yeah, so I don't know who the next lightweight guy will be, but there's a few. Um, Martovi says, "Hey Fab, looking good as always. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Fab. Who do you have for Hall versus Weidman? Man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. They're both the thing is, I think they've both aged quite a bit. Like they're not neither one of these guys is at their peak anymore, my opinion. And I'm a massive, massive Weidman fan. I don't think he's at the Weidman that, you know, ran through a whole bunch of guys. I don't think he's quite there yet. He's quite there anymore. And I don't think that Uriah Hall is. So I don't know. It's going to be, does Uriah Hall still have the same pop and explosiveness in his kicks and ability to do his kicks? Does Weidman still have the same pop to out grapple and out wrestle? Uriah Hall is a hell of an athlete and a hell of a fighter, but he does run hot and cold sometimes. And I think Weidman hits very hard. He's got long arms. Already beat Uriah Hall once and with a knockout. Believe it was a left hook. So Weidman hits very hard. He's got amazing grappling. especially his top game. So look for Weidman to take this to the ground, get it to the ground, and I think soften Uriah Hall up. And then I don't know. I don't know how their stamina is going to go and how their ability and their confidence in where they're at in their careers is going to go. Hanoi Tripper says, do you think Rockhold will fight again soon after he sees his best mate Weidman fight tonight? I don't know. I don't know exactly what's happening with Rockhold either. And again, I think these guys have kind of seen their best days behind them, you know. Um, other than Israel and other than Israel and Rob, I think why middleweight needs a little bit of new blood. You know, I think there's a big difference between those two guys and the rest of the field. You know, and that's no disrespect to any of them or whatnot, but there's a big difference there. There and a lot of those real gun guys that were there at middleweight have aged now. Jacare, Weidman, Rockhold, Romero, Tim Kennedy. I'm just trying to think of who was there. Obviously, Anderson, Talis Laitis. All these guys have gotten old, you know. And the other young guys that were there um, weren't the heir apparent, you know, that to that what middleweight was at the time. So I think it's I don't know if Rockhold's going to fight, man, because he's not. These guys aren't young. Martovi says you'd stomp him in VR boxing. I would have a VR boxing with him for 250 grand for sure. GGC's knee Jake Paul in the scrote in the first second of round one. I should run in and just do a massive flying knee to his balls. Will Usman jump to middleweight and fight Izzy? Sasank? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I think Israel and Rob are horrendous matchups for Kamaru Usman. The fluidity and the way that they strike and the way that they move and how big they are. They're a lot bigger than him. A lot bigger than him. Yeah, when you see him in real life, they're not. They're a lot bigger than him. He's like a big welterweight, but he wouldn't be a big middleweight, and he'd lose a lot of those mechanical advantages going up in weight. It's not just like the muscle size; it's like the size of your hands, the size of your wrist, the size of your head, and he's not as big as a true middleweight. So I think he'd lose a lot of those mechanical advantages, and then he'd lose those two guys in particular are bad matchups. If GSP was up there and was holding the belt instead of those guys, then I'd say that'd be an interesting fight because GSP is not huge like a true middleweight. He's not as big and that would be a more interesting fight. But those big middleweights, they're bigger people, man. They look completely different. Asen, please don't give links out on my podcast. Thank you, GG. Thank you very much. Last week, you explained that as a rule of thumb, you should slip to the outside of a punch. So is Rob betting on guys to make a mistake when he lands that kick at the end of his signature combination? It depends because you're talking about a southpaw, right? So say, for example, when he's fighting Gastelum and he throws the right hand, Gastelum is actually slipping to the outside of that right hand. So he throws the right hand, the guy slips to the outside of the right hand and he hits with the right high kick. And then when the person's in orthodox, when you throw the punch, the person covers up, right? They cover up like this, and the kick comes around the outside of it, right? So it's not so much a person slipping wrong. If you slip wrong from an orthodox position, there you're going to get your head knocked off. But if you go like I just said, in a southpaw, he's throwing the right hand, so the right hand comes here because the jab's on the other side with the southpaw. So when you throw the right hand, you slip your head, and the kick's coming right after it. So with a southpaw, that combination works really well. With an orthodox guy, it does as well, especially if you use the cage. If you corral him into the cage, right? So then there's only one way out, right? So if you picture what I'm saying, you corral him, so you're front on with him, and he's got his back to the cage. Then, as the attacker in an orthodox stance versus an orthodox fighter, I take a slight step to the left. So then your exit is the left as well. So when I throw my right hand, you're going to go. You have to go. And you also cover up So then the shot comes and hits you. So there's a lot of good ways to set that up. Acing Gujo. No, I just don't want people sharing anything that's gonna make YouTube say don't do it, or the UFC or anything like that. So please don't compromise my podcast. I appreciate it very much, Asen. Thank you so much. Lean McHungry. Will Masvidal try something different today? I don't know that he's got to go and try something crazily different because it's like, you got to also understand when you see a fighter lose a fight, it doesn't mean that he might have tried something and it didn't work the way that you thought it would work, So let's see what happened. Yeah, Harry Potty, you guys can direct message each other or whatever you want to do, but please don't put it on here. Sasank says light heavyweight has a lot of young talent. Middleweight has some dinosaurs. I think middleweight's gotten a little bit older recently in recent times, and it happened quickly. It just happens like that. And I think that light heavyweight has some impressive guys coming forward. Yeah, I do. Having said that, there's still some killers at middleweight. There's some absolute killers. Sorry, I'm going to skip a couple of people. Kyle Graves says, thank you for the awesome play-by-play, mate, and doing the commentary. Always learn something, tuning in. Keep it up. Thank you, Kyle. I really appreciate it. Absolutely basis. Slipping inside isn't a mistake. It is just risky. More potential reward, though. Yes, that's another thing that's true. You can slip to the inside. It's not like you can't, but there's a lot of other things that happen. And generally, as a rule of thumb, you're going to learn to slip on the outside. It's not wrong, but that's not going to be your go-to thing. It shouldn't be, anyways. Metal Assassin, yeah, we do get fights during the middle of the day and not at 4 a.m. So that's awesome. Juice says, thank you for the explanations. Thank you guys for tuning in. I just want to say that, man. Thank you so much, man, for joining in and being here and blah, 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 because I really enjoy doing the podcasts and I really enjoy our little community that we have and the people that watch with us. And yeah, so it's pretty cool. What do you think of Vittori getting a title shot at Izzy, Tasman Andrews? Did that actually happen? I think it's a little bit weird because I think Rob has beaten everyone he can beat. Like there's no one else for him to beat. He's 11-1 in the division. He's lost one fight in, I don't know, 6-7 years. How do you give that title shot to anyone else? I don't know. Sorry, 1 second. Beetlejuice says, hey, Fab, Nuya, stand strong here. Listen to you. I met you here ages ago and we were talking, but never told you I was Beetlejuice. Laugh out loud. Oh, all right. You should have told me who you were. Papa Nod says, quick question, Fab. Sub-Zero or Scorpion? Sub-Zero. I always played with Sub-Zero as a kid. Not that I played a lot, but yeah, as Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero for sure. Real time. Where can I watch this fight? I have paid for the fight and I'm watching it on a legal stream. Kyle Graves says, anytime, Fab, your knowledge seems endless. Rob's going to take Izzy out next go around. Look, I think, honestly, biases aside, I think that fight's always 50-50. I think at any stage, either one of those guys can catch the other one and, like, it could be over. You know what I mean? Like, people talk about, like, the game plan and this and that. Dude, the fight, he got dropped at the end of the first round. You don't know what the game plan was. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go put it out there either. Because I do think that there's going to be a lot of similarities in that fight, but either one of those guys can switch each other's lights off. They're both huge guys that hit super hard with really high level striking in 4-ounce gloves. So I think that Rob has a few advantages. I think that Israel has a few advantages. It's an interesting fight. Ali Ahmed says hi, and I say hi to you, mate. Am I commentating the pay-per-view tonight from Tom Clayson? Yes, I am. Leo says, I'm not trying to pay 90. Where can I watch a fight? Don't watch it. It's got nothing to do here. Do not post links here. I will block you guys. And if you keep asking for links, I will have to block you because I don't want that here. Tommy LeBlanc says, I think Shevchenko will use her reach and use her kicks effectively. Her ground game is good enough to get her back to her feet. Tommy LeBlanc, I agree with everything, but I will say this. I think her ground game is much better than just getting up to her feet. I think she's very, very good. Tom Clayson says, I'm driving and need a play-by-play. You will get a play-by-play, sir. You will get a play-by-play. Mexi says, yo, what's good, Fab? A bit off topic, but have you heard any news about Cedric Doumbé's transition to MMA? Man, he was on the podcast here before, and he said he wanted to fight out one more year, I believe it was, at the time, which is probably about a year now, and that he was going to transition to MMA after that. I don't know anything other than that, other than speculations and whatnot. I don't know. I don't even know that someone like him would even want to at this stage, like other than saying it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people say stuff. Not even. I'm not talking about Cedric himself now, but a lot of times when people are like, "Oh, I heard this guy say that, and this guy said this, and this fighter said that, and blah blah blah," and a lot of the times, dude, like the fighters themselves are saying it because they feel like saying it, not necessarily because it's true, or and also because they think that that's going to drum up interest or whatnot. I think he'd be very, very good. He'd be very, very dangerous if he went over to MMA. But I don't know if that's actually right. What's going on right now? Megan Olivi is speaking, and Jimmy Crute's about to walk out. When is Usman versus Masvidal starting? I imagine probably in about at least an hour and a bit. David Morris says, I think Vittori has a good shot at taking out Izzy with a solid game plan, but I also think Rob smashes Vittori. Could be they meet in a year for Rob's belt. Yeah, I can't see Vittori beating Israel, and I can't see Vittori beating Rob. I can't. No disrespect to Vittori. I think he's a great fighter, and I think he would have done really well in a division that didn't have Rob or Israel. Todd Umcher says they've given it to Vittori because it's in June, July. Rob will barely be out of quarantine by then. Well, there you go. That kind of explains things there for you. My Toby says, hey Fab, did you realize they made a Mortal Kombat movie after discovering your undisputed and undefeated record? Yeah, I think it's loosely based on my life, that one. Guys, I've had to block some people. Please don't put up advertisements for the fight. So please don't. Okay, Jimmy versus Anthony Smith. How do you see it going down? I hope Jimmy wins. I hope he knocks him out. The problems that I see here are that I think on the feet, Jimmy hits real hard, man. Really, really, really hard. I think Anthony Smith's got a lot of high level fight experience. I think Jimmy hits really hard, and he's a really like strong, physically strong man. Um, Anthony Smith, though, I've seen him in real life too, man, and he's a big boy. He's like a really, really big guy as well. I think the jiu-jitsu advantage might go to Anthony Smith, though. I think Anthony Smith is very, very good jiu-jitsu. I think he was like more of a jiu-jitsu guy before he started off. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens on the feet. That's going to be the real interesting thing that happens. I think that Jimmy hits fucking stupid hard. He's got big hands, and I've seen him hit. And I've felt him. He's a big, strong guy. So that's going to be very interesting. Hey Fab, purely speculation, but how would you see Khabib versus Usman going down if it happened? Again, I think Khabib can beat anyone, right? Not to say that he can't beat Usman, but he does lose a bit of that mechanical advantage going up into welterweight. He like he is generally the bigger guy, other than when he fought Gleason and a few others. But and even with Gleason, he struggled a lot. He struggled a lot with Gleason. He could have gone either way. So I think, but that was early in Khabib's career as well. But still, he would lose. This is undeniable. I'm not saying that he can't overcome the mechanical disadvantage, but he would lose his mechanical advantage. He would lose the fact that he's a bigger guy in there. Usman is just a bigger guy. I've seen both of them in real life, and Usman is a bigger guy. Having said that, can Khabib overcome that? Possibly. But that would be a difficult one. I think Khabib, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I really don't know how that fight would go. I think it'd be a little bit difficult for Khabib, to impose that kind of game on someone like Usman, who has a kind of similar game, but at a higher weight division. I see it being a bit difficult. Um, sorry, I'm going through a few of them. Royce C says, I think Rose might be too slick for Zhang. Zhang is a beast, though. The first round will be very telling. Udit says, Coach, do you think Rob has many fights left or does he want to retire after Izzy? No idea. I have no idea. I don't think this is complete speculation. I don't think Israel makes or breaks Rob's career. I don't think he has him like, oh, I have to do this or that. I don't think that that's the case. So that's just me. I'm speculating. I don't know. But I'd guess that I'm pretty right with that. When is the first fight on, Fab? Now it's about to start. Um, do you think there is anything Rob could take from Jan Blachowicz' game plan against Izzy? Um, no, like honestly, like people talk about game plans, and I say this to you, like depends what happens in the fight, dude. If you get cracked in the first round, it's done, dude. You know what I mean? Like people assume that the guy with the best game plan wins. You could have the best game plan and you get cracked and it's over. So were there things that Jan did great against Israel? He did. Were there things that he didn't do or whatever? Maybe. So I can't really say that. There's people have good game plan, but if you get hit, it's over. Dude. You know what I mean? Like, um, do I think that Crute is ready for a top 5 light heavyweight? Well, let's see. Let's see what happens today. Um, okay. No, Masvidal was Izzy didn't start yet. Sorry guys, I'm gonna skip a few, okay? Sorry guys. If it would be possible to combine the arsenal of two fighters to achieve perfection, any fighters, who would those fighters be? I would combine Francis Ngannou and Fabricio Werdum. There you go. Sorry guys, I'm just Muhammad Saidi says, "Hey bro, I like Usman, but he's not on the same level as Khabib, especially in grappling. I don't necessarily think he has to be. First of all, I don't know that. I don't know that for a fact, and he doesn't have to be. Because Usman's very, very good as a fighter. He finds ways to win more or less against everyone, and he's bigger than Khabib too. Um, yeah, so that is what. Thank you, Kapasa Mekchuka. That is exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, what I'm saying is that the biggest thing there, the biggest difference that I see is the size difference. Um, Casey Brand says that let's go. The energy's electric in that arena. Happy to see the passion and engagement once more. Todd Umcher says, did you explore the possibility of a career in Wii boxing after knocking out a world champion UFC fighter? I think I came and I did what I needed to do, man. All right, guys, we're about to start. We are off. No glove touch from these gentlemen. Jimmy with a high guard, standing very strong now, starting to bounce a little bit more on the feet. Anthony Smith with a wide stance is crouching low, moving around. If there's an exchange here, honestly, you don't want it with Jimmy Crute in close, like in a phone booth. He's got way too much power. He hits stupid hard, Jimmy does. Coached by Sam Greco, a fantastic, fantastic stand-up fighter. And I believe he does a lot of work with Daniel Kelly, who I think is one of the most underrated coaches around, to be honest with you. Absolute wealth of knowledge, man, Daniel Kelly. A lot of good movement here from these guys. But Jimmy Crute slowly getting Anthony Smith towards the cage. And Anthony Smith now is kind of backed up against the cage. This is the power of Jimmy Crute with a right kick to the body is very, very evident. I'd say it's very evident to have a big power discrepancy here. Jimmy, big leg kick lands on Anthony Smith. Goes looking for a jab. Oh, nice jab. Stiff jab by Anthony Smith landed on Jimmy Crute. Jimmy hits very, very hard. So Jimmy, what he's doing, he's dropping his level and he's setting up an overhand right or a right hand as he drops his level. This is what's going to be. He's doing it very, very well. I'm not a big fan of his haircut, but other than that, I'm a fan of Jimmy Crute. I don't know what that haircut's doing. It's kind of like a step haircut masquerading as a mullet. Something. Oh, very nice stiff jab landed by Anthony Smith on Jimmy. He's landed that 2 times now. He's very now. Anthony Smith is starting to stalk a little more. He's starting to be a little bit more relaxed. The left hand has come down a little bit. Nice leg kick landed again by Jimmy. But Anthony Smith is moving Jimmy backwards a little bit. Jimmy Crute's looking for that right hand, but that jab by Anthony Smith is the 3rd time it's landed straight down the middle on Jimmy Crute. 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Nice little exchange, a little bit of a mouse. Oh, through 2 times the jab has hit Jimmy Crute straight down the middle. Nice kick by Jimmy Crute. He caught the kick. Jimmy's head's getting snapped back by that jab. Another nice little jab landed by Anthony Smith. Oh, that exchange. Right hand, left hook by Jimmy Crute. Jimmy's throwing a lot of power in his shots. There's a lot of power in those shots. Again, another snapping jab by Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith showing off a very nice jab, very good timing. I still believe that there's a lot of power left in Jimmy Crute's fists at this stage. Another nice jab landed by Anthony Smith. You cannot take too many of these jabs. People do not understand this. Those jabs, even with big gloves, it hurts. But with little 4-ounce gloves, those jabs to the face, they rock your face and they start to split your face open. Nice right hand landed by Anthony Smith, and a jab landed again. Another jab landed on Jimmy Crute. The right and the left just misses by Jimmy Crute. Jimmy can't seem to get past that little bit of length that Anthony has on him. Now, Anthony's throwing the feints on those jabs, and it's messing up Jimmy's timing a little bit. This is a very interesting fight. Overhand right by Jimmy Crute. He throws a left hook right after it. Doesn't get it, but he seems to have caught Anthony Smith's leg. Oh, my God. Nice work by Jimmy Crute. His leg, I think he must have kicked him right on the peroneal nerve, because that nerve the leg buckled, and then he was still able to take Anthony Smith down. Very good work by Jimmy Crute, and he's landing some really good ground and pound. He's got the far side wrist control. Great work by Jimmy Crute. Great work. 45 seconds to go. That was a great calf kick, and that's the peroneal nerve runs there along the lateral aspect of the knee there. And there's not much there protecting it, man. When you get kicked like that, very, very difficult. Jimmy's doing a fantastic job, man. He's overcome a lot in this round, because there was a lot of jabs to the face. That leg kick dropped him, and he still took Anthony Smith down, who's a very, very, very good grappler, and got the better of it on the ground, I'd say. And again, another big takedown by Jimmy Crute. 10 seconds to go. I'm really, really impressed with Jimmy's grappling. Anthony Smith covering up. No time. Man, what a round. That was a crazy, crazy round. Jimmy's in a lot of trouble. He can't seem to stand on that leg. Oh, my God. He can't seem to stand on this leg. It could be the peroneal. Yeah, it is definitely. I think it is a nerve. I think it is a peroneal nerve. The reason I say that is because of the way that the ankle folded just then. I don't think he tore the ligaments there. I don't think so. Just from, if I had to guess, let's see. It looks like it hit the nerves right behind and lateral aspect of the knee. I'm just guessing this, guys, so don't flame me on the comments. Jesus. I'm just guessing that, because that's like the reason I say that is just because of the ankle movement. That's what I see. Like the ankle stays kind of floppy. But a lot of the times people recover from that. Jimmy has not. Oh, he hasn't recovered. They called the fight. Jimmy collapses again. I'm fucking more impressed that he was able to pick up Anthony Smith with one leg. Hence the strength of Jimmy Crute. Now was a fight. Man, I feel for Jimmy. I feel for Anthony as well. Like he went out there, did his job, and it's going to always have that little mark on it because people are going to say, "Oh, blah 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 blah." But dude, if somebody gets you with leg kicks, they get you with leg kicks, and he got him with it, and breaks my heart to see Jimmy lose because I like Jimmy a lot. Really good guy. Um, yeah, man, really good guy. But I'll say this as well: Anthony Smith was looking absolutely phenomenal with that jab. He did a very very good job. Man, I was impressed with Jimmy's wrestling, to be honest with you. Oh my god. I don't know if he tore the ligaments there or if it hit the peroneal nerve. It looks like it's a peroneal nerve, though, to me. Far out. Yeah, I'd say it was, yeah. Even if you get kicked, even if you don't get kicked hard, if you get kicked even light and it lands spot on that nerve, like you can't, it stings. It stings your whole leg. Um, I don't know if that was the case in this scenario. I don't know. But Jimmy, he can't be upset. He went out there, did his thing, and then, you know, he got stopped the way he got stopped, and hopefully it's not a ligament injury or anything like that. And it is what it is. Um, Metal Assassin, damn. Werdum versus Francis, and Francis will definitely create a monster. Udit Talpate says, Coach, do you think we can have any sub six heavyweights as a contender, such as DC or Mark Hunt, or they're just getting too big and strong? Oh, okay. Do you think we can have any sub 6 foot heavyweights as a contender, such as DC or Mark Hunt, or they're just getting too big and strong? Just depends on the background, man, and depends on how the people are made. Like you have some high level wrestlers, and that are around that have been 6 foot, and if they were to come back into if they wanted to go to MMA, then they probably would do quite well. I don't know, but I will say that as MMA grows, it will attract a higher level of athlete. You know what I mean? And in some ways, it's going to mean obviously bigger and stronger. So yeah, expect to see people bigger and stronger and better, and being recruited from higher levels for sure, for sure. Um, Metal Assassin Crute is very very thick. He's like a giant baby. Um, Damn, I've got to delay your stream a bit to not spoil me. Sorry, Metal Assassin. Muhammad Saidi says, Coach, please, do you think who will win the bout between Usman and Masvidal? I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I think Usman really has found a way to win. Like he's at a point in his life where everything has come together, and he's doing really, really well with that. Like he just it just happens sometimes, in your life. Um, so that's why I don't know who necessarily will win. So I'm going to skip a few. Um, David Morris, that's a legit win. Damage to the leg is still damage. If the fighter can't continue, then he's defeated. Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree. 1000% agree. Uh, Martovi, I think the angle at which the leg fell when he initially stumbled looked like it could have done some damage. Could, absolutely, for sure. I know it's impossible to say for sure, but do you think Rob versus Izzy, Rob had a little ring rust? He wasn't sharp or fast enough to get Izzy, but was plenty both against Kelvin, who has fast as fuck hands. Man, honestly, that fight happened. You got to let it go. You got to give credit to Israel. Move on with it. He lost the fight, and that's it. And look at it as a new fight. Martovi to the ligaments. Sad for Jimmy, but Anthony's a good dude. Yes, I agree. Rob USMC, yeah, they're getting better and better for sure. Hanoi Tripper, a Cheeto Vera special. Yes, sir. Crute can take down Smith with one leg. I couldn't do it with seven. Jack the Ripper. Agree. Man, I was very, very impressed with Anthony Smith's jab, man. I didn't think he had it in him, but I was very, very surprised at how comfortable he was. Adamant movies. I really do not believe in ring rust. It's either you're in shape to fight or not. Um, I mean, it is what it is. It doesn't, it's a fight, dude. At the end of the day, it's a fight. I do think that Rob now has gained more momentum. Do you ask me? Do I think that the fact that he'd had a break for that long had an impact on him? Yeah, I'd say so. I definitely do think that not having fought for 18 months or whatever it wasn't going to be beneficial for him. Um, but I don't think he wasn't in shape. I don't think he wasn't ready. I don't think he wasn't crisp, and I don't think his performance was that bad, except that he got caught. If he hadn't got caught, if he had caught Israel, and if you watch the fight, then everyone would say he's a genius, and none of that thing mattered. That's what it would have been. So it's done, man. The fight's done. They're going to fight again for sure. And so, watch that fight. Um, and also, like, when people like MMA fans have like real short memories. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not even gonna get into it. Adam, what's my history in combat sports? Grappled for about 20 years, done like wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and did always martial arts my whole life. That's all not anything amazing. Um, SSJ Miggs, sub Fab, you're getting me through another overnight shift. Thank you, sir. I aim to please, sir. That's what I do. So I'm glad that I'm getting you guys through another night shift. Um, yeah, and it is what it is. I'm really looking forward to this fight. Weidman versus Uriah Hall. This is an interesting one. Gigi says, do you miss grappling? I don't grapple like live that much anymore, but I'm still on the mats most days and just move around on that. But yeah, like I mean I do, but I'm not one of those people. Like I understand life has seasons, and my I'm not going to be able to grapple like I did when I was 25. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen. My body's not in the same shape as far as like, I have a really bad knee that needs a knee replacement. So I just come to terms with that. I come to terms with the fact that that's what it is. And with a lot of stuff, not just with grappling. So yeah, I miss it, but there's other things like I don't hold on to stuff like that. Um, Joseph says, hey coach, nice to see you again. Nice to see you, sir. Um, do a lot of Americans move to Australia? There are a few people from the US here, yeah, for sure. Um, JK says, hey Fab, do you have any experience in striking? I'm not a striking coach, but like I said, I did martial arts my whole life. I've boxed a little bit. I did taekwondo and that as a kid growing up, and competed in taekwondo a fair bit growing up. Like just did kickboxing and boxing stuff as a young man, but not anything amazing. I wouldn't go and coach striking. Um, GG says, life has seasons is a good quote. Man, honestly, thank you. Somebody said it to me. I can't remember who it was that said it, but honestly, like people, ever since I started doing the podcast and that, and I speak to people, and how much people's lives ride on somebody else's wins and losses, like it surprises me. Like honestly, it really surprises me. And people don't understand. Like you're watching someone's career, and there's heaps of shit that happens, man. And like people lose fights, they win fights, and people try and make so much out of it, And there's seasons in your life, dude, where you can do everything wrong in a job and you get promoted, and then you get a shit boss and you do everything right and you can't go anywhere. And with fighting, it's the same, man. There'll be a point in your life where things just come together for whatever reason, and you'll be in really, really you'll see some really good results, coming through, and that age for fighters when they're around 30 years old, that time, because that's when your experience, whatever you've done in those 10, 15 years before, that whole experience marries up with your physical aptitude being at its peak. When those two things marry up, you're usually going to see the best of these guys, unless they've suffered tremendous damage earlier. If they haven't suffered tremendous traumatic damage, then you're going to see always the best of this person into their 30s. It's not a new drink that they're taking. It's not this amazing game planning that they had. It's not that they switched camps and went to this new place. They train in Iceland and they live in sub-zero temperatures. It's none of those things, man. It's the fact that your experience has married up to your peak physicality. Of course, if you're not training, of course, if you don't train or you don't do the right things, then no, you're not going to see it. But that's why your experience is marrying up to your thing. So that's a big one. Um, Varghese says, "What's your advice on dealing with an unprovoked street fights? Was once chased by a guy on drugs and only just escaped." Well, I think if you escaped, then you won. That's my opinion. I think try and avoid the fights, try and avoid places where you're going to get into a fight. That's my number one thing. Is I would say that, yeah, like, um, don't get involved in that. Avoid it as much as you can. And then if you do have to fight someone, assume that they are the best fighter in the world. Don't assume that they're not going to be a good fighter. Assume that they're the best they can possibly be, and try and break their head. Yes, JK says exactly that. Don't punch. You don't know if they have a weapon. Just run. Yeah, just avoid it as much as you possibly can. Um, do you think that guys that grapple hard after 45 damage their backs and necks? I think yes. I think so. I have my backs all jacked. My necks are jacked as well. Um, and I think grappling is real hard on your body. I think you have to be smart how you grapple as well. Grab a small guy and just roll around. But you have to come to terms, like we said earlier, like your life has seasons, and like I don't know now, like I see a lot of guys because of where I live, and I've been surfing, and guys take me out surfing and that, and guys that are in their 40s don't charge waves like they did when they were 20, 21, and it doesn't matter like how good shape you are in, your body's not that anymore, when you're 51, when you're 48, yeah, there might be a few outliers out there, great, but generally you have to understand that somebody else is going to charge you those waves. You go shape some boards or something, and it's the same thing with fighting. um yeah, so that's a real big one. I think, yeah, you do damage your back and neck grappling as you get older, your knees, everything. It's not easy, man. David Morris says, Fab's t-shirt game on point as usual. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Ahmed Fakih says, is it Fahey? What do you think about Sean O'Malley? I think he's a very talented guy. I think he's very, very talented. I think I love the way that counter left that he has. The left hand lead is very, very, very impressive. Very, very nice. Yeah. JK says, do you think Wonder Boy at 38 years old has another title run in him? I think he's right there, man. I think he's right there. I don't know. I don't know how many more fights he has to fight to get a title shot though. Do you know what I mean? Because he's like right there. I don't know why he should, by all accounts, have a title shot. Um Judith Talpeda says, get a good 100-meter sprint to avoid a street fight. Yeah, man. Honestly, I think one of the big things is like generally you can avoid it before it kicks off. Like, I don't know, you shouldn't. It's hard to get into that position in your life as well. Like, I don't know, man. You don't have to answer every retard that says something to you either. You know what I mean? Like, who cares, man? I was in the car the other day and I was talking to a guy that I'm training now, and we were on the phone, and there was a guy behind me, and I don't know what had happened. I think I didn't move up. It was peak hour traffic. I didn't move up quick enough, and the guy was swearing and carrying on and just like going absolutely mad, And I was looking at him in the rear view. I didn't say anything or anything, but I could have easily, I could have kicked off and he could have stabbed me with a screwdriver or bashed me, or I could have bashed him. Who knows? In fairness, when I saw him, he was built like a malnourished potato. So I think I would have won that one hands down. But even then, like say, I could have got charged, or I could have got stabbed. Who knows? Anything. Over what? The fact that he's an idiot. So you don't have to answer every single moron that's got something to say. So both these guys are 36 years old, 79.5-inch reach advantage for Uriah. Weidman's 6'2", and Uriah is coming in as the favorite. So this was interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Ahmed says, what's more important, jiu-jitsu or wrestling? For what? It's more important for what? For who? What age? For what purpose are you training? I don't really make. Now it says Chris Weidman is the favorite. No, Chris Weidman is the favorite. It depends, man. I don't really make a lot of distinction between the two. If you're talking about from an MMA perspective, I think that if you fight MMA and you do jiu-jitsu and you don't wrestle, you're mad. You're only half a grappler. And if you do wrestling and no jiu-jitsu, you're mad. You're only half a grappler. That's if you're fighting for. That's if you're fighting MMA. You know what I mean. Like that's if you're fighting MMA. As a as as a just to train, I think it doesn't matter. I think it depends which one you enjoy the most. For me personally, I'd probably go with wrestling just because it's got such a really hard element, which is the stand up and the takedown to stand up and vice versa, and the throws and everything. I think it's just such a complete grappling art. Um, I don't think it's better than jiu-jitsu. I just think it's just a complete grappling art. That's all. Um, doesn't mean anything though. I enjoy both of them. Like I said, I think you should do both. Joseph says, "How's school going, Coach? You got the hang of it yet?" Nah, man. Nah, I struggle. I really, 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 really struggle. We're off, people. We're off. Both guys touch hands, are both in the orthodox stance. Chris is already looking to drop his level. He's already shown that level drop, and he steps in with a little jab. Uriah Hall standing nice and tall, but he's very nimble on his feet. Chris, oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh my god! Fuck! He fucking oh my god! Ah, Chris kicked Uriah Hall in the leg, and Uriah Hall checked it, and fucking Chris snapped his tibia. Oh my god! I can't even fucking see that. Oh Jesus! Oh my god! Oh, oh my god! Like exactly what happened with Anderson. Different kick because with Anderson it was southpaw to orthodox, and this one was orthodox to orthodox. But he kicked it and he fucking snapped it. Oh my god, I can't even watch it. Oh, oh, oh my god. Oh, that was sickening. That was absolutely sickening. Oh my god, that was so bad. So for those that couldn't see, Chris kicked Uriah Hall. Uriah checked it, orthodox to orthodox. Oh, I'm watching the fucking replay. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, he wrapped it around it. Oh, my God. Oh. He kicked it and he checked it and it snapped. Oh, Oh, stop playing, stop replaying it, man. Poor Chris. Oh, yeah, right up there with Silver's leg. Probably worse, dude. It looks like the tibia and the fibula just snapped. It looks like Chris's leg was made of jelly. Oh my god. Oh, oh my god. Yep, the same thing happened when Chris checked Sylvia. It was obviously Southport Orthodox, but yeah, it was honestly one of the most disturbing things I've seen. Oh, that was so brutal. Oh, my thoughts are with Chris, man, and his family. If anyone that knows Chris is watching this, please, man, all my best thoughts and prayers to he and his family. He's honestly a really good guy, man. We've had him on the show, and he's just a fantastic guy, and I just feel sorry for him. Yeah, you wouldn't realize it. You wouldn't realize, like some medical assessment says, he didn't realize he broke his foot until he fell. It reminds me of when I broke my hand. Didn't realize for quite some time. Yeah, like the adrenaline would be, you'd be pumped, you know. And but now the pain would. I can only imagine the pain would be absolutely incredible. Ewan Ferguson says, "Hope all is well, Fab. Everything's good, man, except for what happened just then." Oh my god, that was absolutely brutal. You know, that was absolutely brutal. Yeah, yeah. I don't want him to. I honestly don't want him to make a comeback. I just want him to be healthy, man. I don't want to see that shit, dude. Poor guy. He's in absolute pain. He's insane. He's in insane pain. They're just stretching him off now, and again they're showing the stretching off. You know, Uriah Hall looks devastated. Um, that's so scary, man. It's real, like I don't know. It's a reminder of your own mortality. You know what I mean? Like it's no fucking joke what you're doing in there. You know. I'm not glad that this happened, but I do think it's good for people to see this kind of stuff sometimes because it shows you as well, like, dude, you could get really, really badly hurt in MMA, you know? It's not a joke. It's not thing you're actually really fighting. And a lot of people don't understand that. It's not, oh, he did this wrong. Now, 12 million people are going to go, Weidman did this kick wrong and what he should have done. Like, dude, these things happen, man. It happens. Um, Really hard to come back from that. Reminds me of Anderson and Jabril. Yeah, man. Yes, Jules. Yeah, it does. It does, sir. Thank you for supporting, sir. I really appreciate it. Um, oh my god, that was so brutal. That was so fucking brutal. I haven't seen like the way I saw it too. The way I saw it, I didn't even see Anderson's one like that. Like I watched Anderson's live, but I didn't see it like that. This one looked like it was different, man. I saw this different. B Dot says, sorry, everyone had to see that. Hard to come back after that entertainment wise. Yeah, it's hard to get back in that thing. Um, hey, Corey McManus says, hey, Fab, how you getting on, mate? Heartbreaking to see Weidman lose like that. Has had a real bad luck over the last few years. Corey McManus, I'm I'm good, man. I'm getting along good. It's hard. It's hard watching Weidman like that. He's a good guy, you know. And he's so talented and he's so good. But in fairness to him, he also had one of the best middleweight runs for a long time. He was a very, very good fighter. Um, Metal Assassin says, "Well, I just had my tibia cracked from a football match and hurt like hell. Can't imagine what pain he goes through." Yeah, soccer is real bad. When you say football, soccer, football, it's real bad for that type of stuff. Like you can, the studs up tackles and that, or the shin clashes, you can get your tibia broken quite easily. Adamant Movie says, shows the importance of a good check, but my God, yeah. Yes, sir. 1000%. Um, Jack the Ripper says, Uncle Fab, I don't want to be a fighter anymore. Good, man. Good. I'm glad it shows people have brains, man. Honestly. There are people that just don't think it's a sport. They don't get it, man. People don't get it. Like all the people that sit there talk about game plan this, game plan that, or the analysts that come back and go, what he should have done is blah 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 blah. You don't get it, man. You just don't fucking get what that is. You just don't get that it's a fucking fight. Like, and I understand people got to do it and they have to do it for entertainment value and they got to do it for entertainment purposes. And that's fine, but that's what it is. It's not, it's a fight, dude. It's a brutal, brutal fight, and any of that stuff can happen. Um, yeah, Jules here says, watching football, soccer, I've seen a bunch of injuries like that. It's always awful to see. Yeah, 100%. And the other thing that happens with that, it's the angle with how you kick. Like, not that I'm not correcting Chris's kicking. It just happens. Like, your kick doesn't land. Sometimes it doesn't land flush like this, like blade on blade. If you land it kind of like up, and so it's like the flat of your tibia landing against the sharpness of the other one landing on the blade, like the flat landing on the blade, will tend to break it a lot easier than before, than the other way. But it's one of those things. It's right on that angle, and it's done. Oh, didn't Uriah Hall fight Anderson the fight before this one too? That's wild. Yes, Blue Beast, it is. Bareback says nightmare feel gonna feel weird watching the rest of the card. I agree. Ahmed Faki says there's no way to prevent it. So there's no way to prevent it. I mean, there's things you can do. Like you, of course, you're going to practice kicking. You're going to, condition your shins. You're going to do all of that stuff. But it's not like Chris doesn't do that. It's not like Anderson doesn't do it. It's not like I think Ray Sefu that happened to as well. There's a whole bunch of people that it's happened to. It's not like they don't. If you kick and it lines up that you just get caught the way you did, it's broken. The same way that everyone tries to not get hit, but if you get hit right on the button, you're going to sleep. You're going to sleep. Um, do I think his career has ended, Moist Penguin? I don't really want to see Chris Weidman fight anymore because I'm a huge fan of his. I don't really want to see it anymore. I just hope that he gets healthy and he's with his family and he's happy. That's all. Um, Noon says, crazy how I was thinking in my mind watching the fight. What if a leg break happens and then it happens? Oh my God. Yes, sir. Gigi says, hope there's no infection later. Man, Gigi, you're a smart person. I like you because a lot of people don't realize that shit. Like those injuries, man, fuck. Same as people go, why don't you just get your knee replacement now and blah, blah, blah. One, dude, because when they open you up, there's a huge risk of infection to all that shit, when they're doing any and all of that type of stuff, like I like I'll do it if I had to do it, but right now I can still move around and the rest of it, and I still go surfing. I can still move around a little bit, pretty good. I can still walk my dog. I can still pick up my daughter. I'm not going to risk any of that stuff if I can until the longer the better. Tyrone Spong versus Badahari wasn't a compound fracture. Yeah, I remember that one too. Joseph says fight business is no joke. I agree. Physics and the human body is fascinating, B. Dot. I think you try to say, not psychics. Although psychics are fascinating as well. Angela Oikul, I'd say he's not fighting again. I hope not, man. I hope not. I think he's suffered enough, man. So, yeah, I'd like to see him just live out his days in happiness. I'd like to see him coach. I think he'd be a fantastic coach. Um, Pretty sure UFC AG says pretty sure UFC pays for fight injury treatment, but not training injuries. Yeah, no one's gonna pay for that though, dude. You know what I mean? Like they might pay for the surgeon, uh, but no one's giving you anything for that, dude. Like they'll pay for the surgery and shit, yeah, which they should, but yeah, no one's gonna. Moist Penguin says, should more guys be targeting that behind the knee kick Smith landed against Crute? It's very hard, man. It's very like it's a like a very small place where it can land. So the calf kick, that behind the knee kick, the thigh kick, those three kicks, yeah, those three kicks are like it's more or less the same kick almost as well. You know, it's hard to pinpoint exactly you're going to land it there. But yeah, it's a very, very good place to land a kick. 1 foot out the door says Muay Thai, the art of 8 limbs. Yes, sir. Angela Oikle says, why would he even want to? I do not know. Yeah, Julius Joe says, if it happened to Tyrone Spong, it could happen to anyone. 100%. Like people start straight away. This is what Weidman should have done. He should have done this. He should have done that. Happened to some of the best kickboxers that ever walked the earth, you know? Sorry, I'm just going through the list real quick. Uthman Ali says, I wonder how the other competitors felt watching that and if they be hesitant with low kicks now. I don't know that they'll be hesitant with low kicks. It's not the first time in the history of fighting that it's happened, but dude, it does definitely affect your own mortality. You know, you do definitely feel that. Man, Jackson Fulmer says, man, Uriah has seen some awful stuff in the octagon. Probably thought he'd killed Adam Chella in tough, and now this. Wow, poor guy. Yes, wow, indeed. Um, Imra Takar says, are recoveries for injuries like those not quicker than an ACL type? Anderson came back pretty quick from memory. Anderson didn't come back that quick. He didn't come back quicker than an ACL reconstruction, which nowadays you can be back within 6 months. But he didn't come back quicker than that. I think he was out for quite a while. And Anderson also took all the steroids. You know what I mean? And that aids in your recovery massively. Uh, Adamant Movie says, yeah, Chris can be an amazing MMA and wrestling coach, one of the best to ever do it. Yeah, I think his knowledge for wrestling and the fact that he's been where he's been and all that type of stuff, I think is pretty cool. Um, I just don't like seeing him fight like that anymore. You know, he's just, uh yeah. Um, Sorry guys, I'm just going. They've got a lot of comments on here, so I'm just have to. Roy C says, I ruptured my Achilles just before Christmas. So glad non-surgical options are the norm now. Did you rupture it? You ripped it off the bone and there was no surgery. How are you walking now? I'm just curious. Emra Takar says, I think took Silva about 2 years to recover. That's quite a lot. Yeah. And that's with every PED imaginable. Moist Penguins, what are those black mask things that the fighters have been wearing around their necks lately? I think it's the mask thing, isn't it? AG says Uriah must be the most guilt-ridden UFC fighter ever. Did Uriah break his leg in two? I didn't see it. At least in two, mate. At least in two, because it looked like he broke the tibia and the fibula. It was insane. It was absolutely mad. Andrade's walking out now. Roy C says, with the rising popularity of low leg kicks, I guess the chance of leg breaks go up too. In particular, guys, when they throw the calf kick, if you check the kick, that calf kick, and you catch the foot, you'll break their foot. I remember Stu McKinnon saying, when you check the kick, when the kick's coming, rather than check it shin to shin, you should be checking it like almost at a right angle to your body, and then you'll catch shin on foot, and it works. It does work. But that was one of the most brutal things I've seen, man. Did you see Cormier confront Jake Paul and all these MMA guys going at him? Why are people giving him exactly what he wants? Laugh out loud. If Cormier confronted Jake Paul, it was so that Cormier could also get some time in the limelight. I don't know what it was about or etc. Mike Tyson does say humans aren't built for fighting. I tend to agree with him. Honestly, if you say like if you compare a human being to like any animal, it's not even close. We're not built for combat of that nature, hand to hand combat. We're not built for it. Like I got a dog, I got a Cane Corso, and I wrestle with him, you know, and that dog, if it got it in his head to kill me, he could kill me. Like I punch him fair in the head, like proper punches, and he just thinks we're playing. He thinks we're playing. Fair enough, I don't hit that hard, but he thinks we're playing. Whereas if I get angry at him, I don't have to hit him. I can just be like like that, and he like cowers and gets scared. But when we're playing, and like I hit him, he thinks we're playing. He thinks this is the best game ever, and I can grab him and throw him into the ground and blah blah blah, and he thinks we're playing. It's just a joke to him. Whereas if he were like one, his muscles and his skin is way tougher than mine, and if he were to bite me like just even a little bit, he'd just crush my whole arm, and I would go into shock and die. I'll see if he's here. He must be around here. Rupert, Rupert, come. Come here. Can you guys see him? I don't know. Turn around. Face this way. Come here. This is him. You can't see him clearly, eh? He's a brindle dog. He's a big fellow. Yeah, so no, human beings are not made to fight. I just hope Chris recovers to 100% and can find success outside the octagon. Such a good dude, so charismatic, and he deserves all the success and happiness in the world. My heart goes out to him. That's from Team Charlie. Yeah, I tend to agree with you, man. I tend to agree with you. Yuda Talpadi says, Coach, did you not become an MMA fighter because of fear of stuff like this? Nah, not really. It was never in the plan for me really to fight. And like, I always just trained and just competed in grappling and competed in a few martial arts here and there. And MMA wasn't really a viable option to make a living at that point, either. So I don't know. Had I come up now, or if I'd been 10 years younger and I came up into the environment that was Sydney at the time, might have been different. But at the time, no, I never. It wasn't really like a thing, like to make a living from. Chris says, I broke my tib and fib and took me 13 months before I was running again. Yeah. And then, that's running. That's not even fight training. I'm sorry. How'd you break that anyways? 1 foot out the door. That's just physical healing. The psychological aspect is another hurdle. Agreed. GG. Chris should retire so he can take whatever juice he needs to recover. Agreed. Moist Penguin. Yeah, but they never put the masks on their face. It's always just hanging on the neck. Agreed. Talpadi, well, fear is something normal for all the fighters. Just listen to GSP talking about it. No, but there's different types of fear, dude. They're not talking about the fear or that you might have for fighting, and everyone's different, anyways. What you feel fear for is not necessarily what I feel fear for, or even that we feel fear in the same way. What they're talking about is the psychological aspect of you kicking. Jules Joe says, if Chris wanted to come back, he should get out of the USADA testing pool by retiring, source it up for the recovery, and re-enter clean. Big brain time. Yeah, but it's not as man. Again, there's other things that affect, and also I don't know that he's going to come back at what level. Roy C says full rupture. They immobilized it in a boot for 3 months. I'm just starting to walk now. The recovery rates at 12 months are pretty much identical. Then I would go with a non-invasive surgery, my friend. Good on you, Roy. Metal assassin. I see. That's for the correction. That's closer to 1 year rather than two. Um, thanks. Humans are built for stealth hunting and tracking, absolutely based. 100%. We are not made to tackle and fight and do the rest of it. Um, I'm going forward a little bit. Sorry. Michael Wood says Jake Paul is unfortunately the biggest and easiest money fight for MMA fighters. Possibly. Um, sorry, I'm going forward a bit. Omar Mote says we're at the top of the food chain because of our intelligence, not our physical attributes. 100% right, Omar. Moist Penguin. If Raw punches your dog in the head full force, I'm pretty sure the dog would be affected. I can tell you 1000% it would not be affected. Zero. This dog would fucking kill him. 100%. How'd you name your dog? I don't know. We just ended up naming him Rupert. This dog got kicked by a horse, man, when he was 1 year old. He took it. The horse kicked him, and he got him like in the shoulder. And horses kick hard, dude. It did fuck all to him. Nothing. Um, yeah, yeah. Chimps will rip a human apart easy. Fucking easy, easy, easy. Joseph, coach, that's a huge dog. Cute. Laugh out loud. Thank you, sir. Tibia breaking will never happen to Tony. Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think that you guys could see him because he's brindle. So it was interesting. Metal Assassin. Well, my dogo is way smaller, like the size of your dog's head, but still the bite of that little guy. Yeah, but it is true. Like if they're just so strong, man. Teller says I have two labs. One comes duck hunting with me when it's season. Great swimmer and great retriever. Dude, this guy is a great swimmer. A really, really great swimmer. Really goes in the ocean, big surf, doesn't matter. He swims. Did you play a league or AFL growing up, Fab? I played basketball, but I played league for school. I would have liked to have played AFL. Like, people ask about MMA or whatever. I think if I'd have played AFL growing up, I would have done really, really, really well in AFL. I think I'm really, really suited for that sport physically. But Sydney at the time, again, wasn't big with AFL. So I played league at school and all of that. So I played league, but I was a basketball player growing up. The girls are about to start. Valentina is in southpaw stance. She's ready to go. Andrade, the pocket rocket, looking like a young Zambides. She's out here in the orthodox stance. Shevchenko looking very, very good here in the orthodox stance. Andrade goes looking for a leg kick of her own, inside leg kick. She did not get the memo. Shevchenko hits her with an outside leg kick. Jab by Shevchenko, looking for it. Andrade looking to get outside that lead foot of Shevchenko's. She goes to the body, does Andrade, but Shevchenko does a good job of sliding away and around from her. Shevchenko's ring generalship is amazing. It's really, really good. And early in this fight, I think Andrade has a very good chance with the power that she possesses. But I think as the fight progresses, if she can't get Shevchenko out of there, just from what I'm seeing now, even just the ability to control without even striking someone that Shevchenko has is going to start to pay dividends later in the rounds. Shevchenko goes looking for a takedown. She's got the body lock on Andrade, and she manages to do that and go straight to side control. Andrade did a very good job. So she sat up from that. That's a legitimate side control escape. She used the momentum. This is for any young person watching this or beginners with it. When you get taken down, you cannot stop. You have to use that momentum to get back up. And Andrade has managed to do that twice now. But both these times, Shevchenko with a striker of her caliber is showing off a very, very good takedown game, which again starts to pay dividends later in the fight. She rides her over, takes her back down to a knee. Oh, and throws a nice little kick from a right with a right foot. Andrade, I'm very impressed with Andrade. She did a very, very good job popping back up to her feet twice. That's really, really impressive. Ooh, a 2 and a 1 landed by Shevchenko. And again, now Shevchenko again initiated the clinch. They're both girls ragdolling each other. And now Andrade has a deep underhook and she's pushed Shevchenko up against the cage. But there is a big height discrepancy here, and that I think affects the levers in the clinch for Andrade. Early on, it'll be an advantage, should be very powerful. But as the fight progresses, I think that just the sheer levers of Shevchenko are going to take more and more of a toll when they're in the clinch. Again, oh, nice. She trips it down, takes it down. Now she's stayed in half guard, and she's not advancing into side control, which I think is smart because what she wants to do here is she's gone to side control. I think I can't see properly because if you can stay in half guard, which she is, she's trying to stay in half guard. You can use that as a Turk ride in wrestling, which is like a pin. Now she's looking for the re-naked choke. Is Shevchenko? This seems to be in rather deep. Andrade has to get her right shoulder to the mat. She has to turn. It's not under the chin properly. It's not in all the way. Andrade has to try and turn, shift the weight, and she managed to do so. Now Shevchenko seems to have taken her back proper. She has to get that right hook in. That's a harder hook to get in out of the two when you have someone up against the cage. And she is looking for it, but she has one of her hooks in and the head's above Andrade's head. She's doing everything picture perfect is Shevchenko. I'm very, very impressed. That's why she is who she is, I suppose. And when this is a real mind game that's being played out here in front of us. When you have a strike of Shevchenko's caliber out grappling you like this, it really starts to affect your game. And that opens up Shevchenko's striking even more so in the later rounds. With 1 minute to go in this first round, I believe it's been all Shevchenko. She's doing a great job holding Andrade up against the cage. And this is going to start to take away one of the biggest weapons that Andrade have had going into this fight, which was her power. Good job by Shevchenko. Very, very good job. 42 seconds to go. She's going to look for the outside reap here, I believe, to take her back down and make Andrade work some more. And she does a body lock and spin and takes her back down, passes the side control. Again, very, very good job by Andrade where she's blocking off the bicep. And if she could get that arm all the way across, she'd use that arm to once again sit up. She'd push that arm, use her legs to lever, and then she'd sit up and get up. Very, very nice. Really, really impressed by this. Good shoulder pressure now by Shevchenko. She's in side control, and that's the round, ladies and gentlemen. All Shevchenko, by the way, guys. All Shevchenko. Sorry, guys. I'm going to skip a few of the comments and see what we have here. Juice says, over the past 20 years, I've seen at least 20 dogs get run over by a car, and the next week they're absolutely fine. I've never seen that, but yeah. Beetlejuice says, where did you get the shirt from? And does it come in men's? How dare you? What kind of sick fuck says something like that, Beetlejuice? Metal Assassin says, which one? The fights have already started, and the Chev Andrade is starting right now. Yes, sir. It started right now. Shevchenko versus Andrade. What kind of food do I feed my dog? Talis, my wife is in charge of the dog. It's actually kind of her dog in the sense that I didn't want a dog. My wife wanted the dog, and she wanted a big dog. And so she looks after her, and so it gets fed like raw food, and it costs a fucking fortune. Only it's raw food, and my wife mixes it herself with stuff. Okay, people, we're about to start again. Shevchenko looking really ready to go. She's out in the middle of the octagon in the southpaw stand. Andrade again in the orthodox stance. Andrade is still moving nicely. She's still got a lot of movement, still got a lot of pep in her step. Shevchenko looking for that check hook as she's coming in. Nice hook over the top by Andrade herself. Both girls clinch. Andrade goes looking for a takedown, but again, another body lock takedown by Shevchenko. Very impressed by Shevchenko's ground game and her takedown abilities. That's what I think. That's the big arrow in her quiver is her ability to do this. Is her ability to take the fight to the ground, control the fight on the ground, and she's got the striking that she does in her back pocket. Also, when you're grappling someone and you're on top of them, there's no real damage for you from there. So it's a very smart thing for her to do. She's got the underhook. She's in half guard and she's got the shoulder pressure. I believe she's going to prefer to stay in in half guard and create that shoulder pressure because it's harder for her to get swiped or moved from there. Actually using that as a Turk rod. She's using the half guard as a Turk rod to keep her pinned. What she's doing here is very interesting because Andrade had the underhook, her left underhook, which is what she needs to get to escape. But the way that Shevchenko has her is keeping her flat. See how she's driving forward? It's keeping Andrade flat. So the underhook on the left, on Andrade's left hand side, doesn't matter anymore because Shevchenko's pushing forward and keeping her flat. See how she's staying in half guard. She could pass, but she's not doing so. And she keeps that shoulder pressure down. That shoulder pressure is absolutely paramount. Andrade, he should be looking to frame on the inside of that left bicep of Shevchenko's and get that underhook and work her way to her feet, which she just did. So good on her. Now Andrade is looking for a single leg of her own. I mean, close to 2 minutes though control time for Shevchenko in this round. This will definitely be taxing on the more powerful Andrade. Good little punches landing by Shevchenko. Andrade has a deep underhook. Now Shevchenko gets her underhooks back. Nice little cheeky knee landed in the clinch there by Shevchenko. I don't think this fight's going to go the distance, guys. I don't see it going the distance. Another big takedown, big slam by Shevchenko. And now these are coming easier and easier and easier for Shevchenko. And it's definitely going to start to sap the energy and the strength away from Andrade in the stand-up. And the gap in their stand-up is already big. It's going to get even bigger. 2 minutes to go. Now Shevchenko has her in a crucifix. Even if Andrade survives or Andrade is able to escape this, how taxing this is going to be energy-wise, it's huge. There's weight on Andrade's chest from Shevchenko, disrupting her breathing. Both her arms are trapped, and Shevchenko is able to land shot after shot after shot on Andrade's head. Now she's landing them with the elbows. She can't intelligently defend herself. That's one of the big problems with this. Is even though, done. Great work by Shevchenko inside of 2 rounds. That was really, really impressive. Really, really, really impressive. I've met Shevchenko. In real life, and she's like scary, dude. She's one of the I've met Amanda Nunes and I've met Shevchenko, but Shevchenko's like Nunes is scary, but Shevchenko has this thing where like I feel like she could kill me, like, and go have a burger. She wouldn't care. Quick Beat says, "Can you show us the TV?" No. It's River Trash says, "Are there TVs in the back showing the fights? Seeing an injury like that right before your fight could throw you off." Yeah, but if it throws you off, seeing that injury helped the other dude. So I don't know, it kind of evens out. But dude, it's there's TVs everywhere. I'm gonna skip a few guys. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go forward. So I'm gonna miss a few guys. Metal Assassin says Valentina's ground game has improved a lot. Man, honestly, in the last however many fights that I've seen her, her ground game's always been good. Her ground game's always been on point. Um, Jack H says, "Damn, Weidman's leg though, bro. Man, I feel sorry for him." Cody Hamilton, Ryan Hall will never be the champ, my guy. Okay. Bob Cuddington says, "Way better than the actual commentary." Thank you very much, sir. Extremely flattering. Um, Jamie Santiago says, "Arriba Peru." Yes, sir. Arriba Peru indeed. Okay, I'm just going through, guys. Sorry, I'm Jay Farrell says, Fab, I was wrong. She did piece her up, but she didn't even weather a storm. Damn. Man, she's so good. And I think that's the thing. Like I don't know why people think that the ground game is her weakness. I really don't. Because she goes to the ground. She goes there first, and then she can dance as well. So what do you do? What do you do with someone that can dance like that? Yeah, man. No. She's very, very good. I don't see anyone beating her, man. Like she goes up in weight and gives Amanda Nunes a hard time. That's just insane. Hanoi Tripper says, "Did you see that Pettis lost last night in the PFL?" No, I didn't. No, that's what we were talking about before, dude. There's a lot of good fight. There's a lot of good fighters in a lot of different organizations. The UFC has definitely got the depth, but not like there's a lot of good fighters. Denzo Bro says, "Love this channel." Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Igor Stanic says, "Much love and respect from Serbia." Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. That's on my go-to list, actually. The Balkans. Um, Albert Rhythm says, "Nunes has too much power, don't you think?" Nunes certainly does have a lot of power, but Shevchenko's done well, man. Both those fights, she's done really well. Juice, when Fab screams, I have to imagine what's happening, and it actually adds to the excitement. Yeah, man, that thing with Chris, that was so brutal, dude. That was so fucking brutal. Um, Danzo Bro says, love from NZ. I love New Zealand, dude. I love New Zealand. Like, honestly, that's one of the places I really love going. Um, Fred about it says Valentina is literally wearing the black mask thing around her neck right now. What is that? I don't know. Jack H says, "Do you train any martial arts? Like, do I train? Do I do martial arts? Yeah, man. I grapple. I've been grappling for a long time, and I did taekwondo my whole life growing up. So yeah." Fred about it. You can easily argue that Valentina beat Nunes in one of those fights as a smaller girl too. Shaking my fucking head. Yes, I agree with you, Fred, about it. People don't. It's honestly, man. I'm not like if you don't know, you don't know, and I get that. But people speak like they so like this is what and dude, like she's had fights with Nunes already and did really, really well. And Joshua Will says, "Cool show. I like how you interact with your viewers." Joshua, I'll tell you something. Without the viewers, there is no show, man. So I am massively appreciative of the fact that you guys come on here and say what you say and ask and talk and the rest of it. Ross Douglas says, big love from Glasgow. Thank you, sir. Fuck, man. Another place I want to go. Hanoi Tripper says, when you reacted to Weidman, I thought it was another highlight spin kick by Hall. Oh, man, it was worse. It was fucking worse. Cody Hamilton, I think Valentina beats Amanda in the third one. Could happen, man. Those are close fights. Jack H says, started BJJ recently and loving it. Good to hear, man. Good to hear. Jiu-Jitsu is a really cool sport to do, man. Really, really cool sport. Man, that was insane. Guys, I'm going to get some water and I'll be back. It's getting rather cold in here now. Um, yes, guys, please use the code. I'm actually going to put that advertisement up right now, real quick, guys. Uh, Sorry about that, but have to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about a very important topic, and that's a topic of weed whacking. Go to Manscaped, get 20% off plus uh, free shipping with the code FAB. And usually, when we talk about plucking those nose hairs and doing trimming around the ears and whatnot, most of us are used to doing that with weapons such as this. While effective, they can be cumbersome. They can prove to be cumbersome. And everyone's personal favorite is also this beauty, something like this. Whilst very effective, it's also hard because sometimes you don't have the right extension cords and whatnot. So Manscaped has given us this, the Weed Whacker. The Weed Whacker is skin safe. It has a replaceable head. It has high performance motor, so premium 9,000 RPM motor powers. This is something that you would have probably seen in a World War II aeroplane prior to this. And unlike the hedge trimmer, it's cordless and rechargeable, so you can use it anywhere and you can take it with you. And it's really, really a pretty amazing product. It has a smart design. It's intelligently contoured design for you to be able to grip it easily, and it's not going to slip out of your hand, which is an amazing segue to the next part of it, which is that fact that it's waterproof, so you can use it in the shower and whatnot. So this is a pretty amazing piece of machinery here for all of us that need it. And everyone needs it, because you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be the person that has the nose hairs and the ear hairs sticking out. My dad used to take me to a barber in Liverpool, and ironically, this barber, it was an older guy, had the worst hairs coming out of his ears and the worst hairs coming out of his nose. And always, as a little kid, I used to always watch that. So I never wanted that myself. So please, Manscaped, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code FAB. Thank you, people. Guys, apologies for that, but I have to play the ads. Yes, it's the only way that my family survives. That and the donations. Valeria has gone missing, so we've been only eating persimmons. So other than that, that's just how we've been living, man. Ross Douglas says, you can't place my accent. Where are you from? From Sydney, Australia. Sydney, Australia. But I grew up in Southwest Sydney. And people that know Sydney know that people from Southwest Sydney, a lot of them speak like me. But yeah, I'm from Sydney, Australia, Southwest Sydney. Cody Hamilton says, plus, guys, Weili hits harder than anyone Rose has fought. Man, I can tell you right now, Weili has nice stand up, man. I really like the way she strikes. She is a fucking. I'm actually going for her, you know? Like, I like Rose. I'm a huge Rose Namajunas fan, but I don't know what it is exactly. I don't know. Maybe it's the Asianness in me now that my daughter's half Asian. I don't know what it is. Maybe I feel that I can't be a traitor to my people, so I'm going with the Asians. But yeah, she's definitely good. Weili has only lost once in her career and has won a belt. I think the lady's there to stay for a while. No, she's definitely there to stay. Quick Beat says Southwest Sydney. Yes, sir. Angela Oikle, does anyone think Rose has a chance? No, Rose definitely has a chance. She's a very good fighter, but I think Weili's a dangerous fighter. Again, the girls, in particular, these two girls, I think are really, both these girls can really fight. I think that Shevchenko was a bit of a mismatch with Andrade, unless Andrade was able to just hit her with something. But these two girls, Namajunas and Weili Zhang, can both fight. Hugo Hernandez says, I can't afford the pay per view. So sad. It's all right, brother. Just listen along and I'll do my best. Ross Douglas says, first time on the channel, new sub. Thank you, Ross. I really appreciate really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't already. I really appreciate it, sir. Juice says, I feel like you're butchering that name. Yes, I probably am, dude. Of course I'm butchering that name, dude. I can't say there's, of course, you know. Jack H says, do you reckon you could beat a blind and deaf Khabib? No. No, I don't think I could beat a blind and deaf Khabib. Absolutely not. Weili M. Oh, Chris K says, a little something for your instant ramen fund. Haha, keep up the good work. Enjoying your commentary over the official booth. I really appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much, man. Thank you very much. I really appreciate any and all donations. And today, my children eat. So thank you very much. Your courier says, Uriah, the type of dude to constantly win matches that make him want to throw up. Cody Hamilton says, I see Rose controlling the distance and Cage in the early round, not outpointing Weili, but I see Weili coming on in the championship rounds to either finish Rose or win a decision. Could be, Cody. Could be. I do think that Zhang hits a little harder than most people that she's faced, and I think that could be a big factor here. She hits very hard for the girls. In the girls divisions, not like an Amanda Nunes, but still hard nonetheless. Moist Penguin, why don't you see that dominant crucifix position more often? I don't think we don't see it. I think we do see it a fair bit, depending on the fighters. I've seen it quite a bit. The one thing that makes it, I think, a little bit difficult getting a crucifix is that you need to have quite a bit of control over that other fighter on the ground. So generally, you would have to be a fair bit better than the other person that you're getting that crucifix on, and to be able to hold them there. So there might not be the discrepancy between the two fighters fighting enough for you to see it. Because if you think about it, you have to have passed that person's guard, established side control, won the arm battle, isolated an arm, and trapped it there. Just to see that a lot, you either have to get one person really tired or you have to be able to control them. Drake C says, I'm new, I'm in, I'm subscribed. Drake C, thank you so much. Tasman Andrews, thank you so much, man. Another person that's donated for yet another ramen meal for my children. Thank you so much. It's really, really, really appreciated. I really, really appreciate it so much. Thank you. Usually, what happens is we have to cook the raw dog food, and that is the food for the child. But today, thanks to Tasman Andrews, we are eating. Who would you say has the advantage in the grappling for this one? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I think that the biggest thing between these girls is going to be who can lead the dance on the feet. And that might cause the other one to initiate the grappling. Now, if I initiate grappling because I'm winning and I've started get your timing on the stand up, then my grappling, even though we're even, could look better than yours, and vice versa. So, yeah, this is going to be a cracker fight, I think. Do you reckon Nunes could beat some 135-pound men? Not guys in the top like 50 or top 100. No, I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't think so. To be honest with you, have a look at what like when the Williams sisters played in tennis against the guy I think ranked 200th or something. Like it's not is a big difference between men and women. Huge. I think Amanda Nunes could beat guys that are lighter than her, like a little tiny guys. Yeah, she could, but not guys the same weight as her. No, there's a big difference in physicality with top guys we're talking about. In my opinion, Weili needs to counter jab like she did to Joanna. Otherwise, Rose can cause serious problems. Agreed. Brandon Marakin says Anderson Silva, it's normal, guys. It's normal. Um, Cody Hamilton, out of nowhere, man. This guy's throwing bombs. Just love. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it. Again, another ramen meal for the family. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it very, very much. So somebody says Masvidal's gonna own Usman hard, make Usman quit MMA. Okay, I don't know about that one, but I think Masvidal's definitely got a very, very good chance in this fight. Wonder if Rose can face any punishment from UFC after talking about China. I don't know exactly what she said, but I can guess. But yeah. Pablo, lift the bar. Please don't talk about any streams on here, please. Um, Uthman Ali says, I think Usman retires tonight if he beats George or announces a fight with Nick. Interesting. This guy out of nowhere. Jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Love you, Fab. Love you, mate. Love you. That's easily a week of food now for the child. Easily. Those home brand 2-minute noodles, man. She will be feasting on them. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate the love. Really appreciate the support from everyone, man. Without you guys, there is no show. That I tell you right now. So I appreciate it immensely. So thank you so much, guys. Really do. And if you haven't, please like, subscribe, etc. Minus 200 favorite is Zhang. So Rose Namajunas is the underdog. Thank you so much, sir. How would Usman match up with Rob at 185? I think he's a little bit smaller. I answered that earlier. I think he's not a true middleweight, size wise, whereas Rob absolutely is. Ross Douglas, pounds even. 4.99 throwing in. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it, Ross, and I really appreciate you subscribing and joining us. Thank you very much, man. Brandon Matakin says Pat Barry's training Rose at 13. Let's leave that one out of here. Karen Cook from the Fast and the Furious, you are. You're Fast and the Furious Sydney edition. Moist Penguin says, I lost money on Crute and Weidman already. I need Masvidal to come through with the upset. Good luck for you, man. Good luck for you. Yeah, I think he's not quite as big. And then the matchup that the way they match up with Rob striking and the power that Rob has, and he's a lot bigger and very hard to take down. I think he and Israel are very hard matchups for Usman. Let's see. Final Archangel says, I don't know what that means. 400 IT watching, only 128 likes coming, Vross. I don't know what that means. All right. We're about to start. So she's a minus 200 favorite, is Zhang. She's a put together girl, man, for that division too. It's 114.5 pounds. These are tiny girls. I've seen Rose in real life as well, and she's tiny, man. She's a small girl. 400 watching and only 130 likes translation. Oh man, we had like 600 watching at one stage, man. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's good or bad or not. I don't know. But 130 likes I'm happy with that. Girls touch gloves. Do you think Vettori stands a real chance against Adesanya? I think he stands a chance. He's very tough, but I don't see him beating Adesanya. He's very tough. He's no joke. So no glove touch, Rose said, and they're off. They're about to start. They're off now. They're going. What I like is both of these girls hit quite hard for being such tiny girls. Rose is looking with excellent movement here. She's looking really good. Giving lots of different looks, bouncing in and out, moving, feinting. Those feints are very good. Inside leg kick landed by Zhang. Rose with lots of movement. Inside kick landed by Zhang, and then the girls exchange jabs. Zhang threw a big right hand and nothing landed. But Zhang has landed that inside leg kick a few times to the thigh of Namajunas. It's not doing a hell of a lot of damage now. It hasn't got a lot on it, but she's landed it again. Rose landed a jab of her own. But she is landing that leg kick, and it's a 5-round fight, and you can't discount that. She's not landing a flush. She's not landing it with heaps of power. She's landed it again. There's not a lot there, though, with the vastus medialis muscle that runs up, like the teardrop muscle, rather. There's not a lot there, doesn't get a lot of sun, doesn't. Oh, shit! With a huge left hand, Rose dropped and landed her and won. I just finished saying how much power these girls have at that weight, and Rose landed such a big shot and finished it. Oh, my God. Yeah, Zhang, it was a fair stoppage. Zhang was out of it, absolutely out of it. She got up and the ref caught her. But I think Rose should just leave her alone for a bit, man. That was a huge shot. Big power in those hands, man. That for people who don't understand, man, there's so much power for like little girls, like, and I don't mean little girls like in a bad way. That's not what I mean. Like it's like saying little boys, like little guys. Like these are little small women, and that she carries that much power. Man, I thought because I looked from a different angle, I thought she landed a left hook. It was a left high kick. I saw it from a different angle. I couldn't see it clearly. I thought she landed a left hook. She actually landed a step in left high kick right on the button, right on the button. And Zhang went to get up, but she'd landed the ground and pound. She landed it right on the button. She just stepped in, threw that left high kick, and it landed flush. I thought she landed a left hook. She landed the left kick right on the button. And again, people will say everything they need to say. Zhang thought that was coming in low, and she went to move her hips out of the way, and she ate it right on the chin. And people don't get it, man. Like that's the fight game. Anything can happen. And then she was completely out of it on the feet. Like she had no balance at that point. Wow. That was a big shot, man. That was a very nice shot that she landed. Very, very nice shot. Oh, I don't know what Pat Barry's saying. I don't know if he's angry. I don't know if he's happy. Wow. A lot of nice dynamic movement as well by Rose before that. And that's what I believe led into when she threw it, it looked like she was coming kind of low. And you see Zhang move her hips back and she got caught. And that's the game. Wow. 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 That was such a good kick, man. That was such a good kick. Man. Absolutely, one. Absolutely, man. Wow. All right, moving right along. It's been a good card, hasn't it? Yeah, I'm really impressed with the card. Now it's got the main event, which I'm absolutely looking forward to. I don't know exactly who's going to win that one. Um, wow, this kick. See how her hips went back. She thought it was coming in low. She thought that Rose was going to kick the inside thigh as well. See, boom, and she steps back to get her thigh out of the way, and she ate the left thigh kick. Very clever. She stepped in. She looked down too. She looked down and then she kicked high. Very, very, very clever. See, she looks down and throws a left high kick. Very smart. Very, very smart. Very, very, very nice. Wow. Very, very, man. That was what a kick, man. What a kick. The way she set that up was money. That is probably the best 115 women's KO ever. It is up there. I can't think of too many other ones that were right up there like that. That was a pretty big shot, man. That was fucking so impressive. That was really, really impressive. Ross Douglas says enough. A great KO. Yo, Chael picked Rose and she won, broken the curse. That was a really, really good shot, man. Um, she's okay. The guy who bet 20 grand on Thug Roast must be having the time of his life. If you got the money, if you got the money to do it, um, time to get another coffee since it's almost 7 a.m. Metal Assassin. Dude, I feel for you guys. I have to get up sometimes here at like 5 to do the cards, 4:45, 4:30, and it's too early, man. But you guys have to stay up. Has it started? No, the main event hasn't started. This cancels that Valentina Weili super fight, I guess. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Damn, I feel so bad for Zhang. I do too, man. Yeah, I do. Who are you taking for the main? I don't know, man. I don't know. The main event, blah, blah, blah. Respect. Sorry, I'm just going through. David Morris Joe's breaking his rule of not interviewing knocked out fighters. You shouldn't interview them, man. They don't even know where they are a lot of the times, you know? Um, Man, that was so good. That was a really, really good win there. It's so hard, dude. I'm telling you right now. I feel for the team, eh? It's for the team, for her. Good for them. Good for them. Wow. First woman in UFC history to recapture a championship. Man, I'm so impressed with the way she did that. Moist Penguin, nice kick, but was that bad defense from Zhang though? No, because you watch it. People, this is the problem. People watch it in slow motion, and they like, and you know what happened. Man, it was a good thing what she did. Like she looked low, and then she went high with that left high kick and caught her. You know, and she caught her. Honestly, to be fair, probably what what Zhang was planning to do to her because she'd hit her already a bunch of times with that inside kick. Adamant Movie says, "Yeah, I do not understand why Joe keeps interviewing KO'd fighters. Do they have a gun to his head or what?" Yeah, I don't know. They probably said to him, "Do it." I don't know. Nick Diaz Army, yes sir. Metal Assassin, yeah, just skipping a day of sleep, no biggie. Though getting into my 30s, it's getting harder than it was 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, I hate that. Um, Final Archangel, hotter baldy, Rose or Fab, me, which is not really bold. Mark TB24 says, "Did you see Chris Weidman's leg? Holy smokes! Yeah, we were here, we watched it. You can rewind and see that we saw it." Nathan Gonzalez says here, new viewer. He questions, "What is your background? You sound knowledgeable about fighting." Nathan Gonzalez, I'm not gonna not answer because I think I'll just let if somebody else could answer Nathan, that would be good. I don't like to talk about myself. That's all. So someone please that's been here before that thing, if you could answer Nathan, that'd be great. JD Matter says Rose has been a black belt in Taekwondo since she was 12. Um, yeah, look, nothing. That's an interesting thing. I don't want to take anything away from Trevor Whitman, who I think is a fantastic, fantastic coach. And maybe it was him. I don't know if he was her coach all the way through. I don't know about that. But the one thing that you don't see is like with the fighters, like they're not or people rather, like it's not so much just like the Trevor Whitmans of the world or whatnot. There are coaches that coach these guys all the way through, like high school. For example, your high school wrestling coaches and all that. They're the ones that showed you how to do the moves, how you became the wrestler, you became your college wrestling coaches and all that. There's a lot of coaches behind it. It's not just the one coach, which I'm sure Trevor Whitman would be the first one to say that. And he's a fantastic, fantastic coach. How did you meet so many fighters? I've been involved in fighting and coaching for a long time, man. Jack H. Sam Lawrence, thank you so much, Sam. I really appreciate it, man. I appreciate your help. I appreciate your donations. I appreciate you knowing that my daughter will not have to eat ramen noodles today. Thank you very much. Juice says he's from Peru. Cecilia Darocha says, I want George to win. Colby versus George for the belt would be great drama. It would. Kyle Graves, I called it. Rose's technique and sticking to the outside would get her the win. Plus, she has Pat Barry as a training partner. Rose all the way. Wow. I mean, sorry guys, I'm gonna go down the page a little bit. Um, yeah, man, I don't know now. This fight's going to be very, very interesting, man. Kamaru Usman versus George Masvidal. I'm fucking interested in this fight because George, out of the two, has the better striking. That isn't to say that Kamaru can't hit him and hurt him. The question is, can George make Kamaru work so that he doesn't get the takedowns early? If Kamaru gets the takedown early, then I think it's going to be very hard for George to win. That's the truth of the matter. I think it'll be very hard for him to win. I met George in real life as well. Uh, he's actually a really nice guy, actually, and Kamaru seems like a nice guy too. Um, very serious dudes, man. Like the way they fight, the way they're just how they are. I like them both. Big fan of George. Fuck, I don't know. This fight is very, very crazy fight. What am I drinking? Water. Diddy Ninja says, "What am I drinking? Water." Naked Snake says, Brandon Bennett says, Fab, are you also a biracial angel? Probably, I'd say I am. Yeah. Both my parents are from Uruguay, but my dad's darker. My mum's actually a ranger. She got like red hair, green eyes. But yeah, I'd say I'm a biracial angel. Albert Ridham says Masvidal with a full camp is very dangerous. Your thoughts? Yeah, I agree. And I know that he was training with Dustin, like in the lead up to Dustin fighting or something like that. But it's not the same as when you're ready to fight, and you've trained for that person specifically as well. So it's not exactly the same. So this will be interesting. This will be very, very interesting. Ross Douglas, do you put on bet? No, I don't. I don't. I don't because man, I've just seen too many weird things happen in fighting. Would a kick like that from Rose KO men? If it got you right on the chin, yeah, fucking oath it would. 100%. Final Archangel says Usman's grappling pressure is real, but I think Masvidal's striking is a level above. Can't wait. Agree with both. Agree with both. I do agree with both. I don't see though. The thing is, like, if Usman's also very powerful with his striking, but I think he's a little bit more mechanical than Masvidal, and Masvidal can really really fight as well. So and he can grapple. He's a hell of a grappler. So I don't know how easy it would be to actually hold um, Masvidal down when he's with a full camp. But I do think that he's going to struggle getting Masvidal down, holding Masvidal down. And if he does, that's going to paint a different picture of a fight. Having said all that I just said, I think that Usman is at a time in his life where he's really worked out what he has to do to win, to be a champion. But that runs out one day. Is today the day? I don't know. Okay. I don't really understand Masvidal's striking hype really better than Usman, says Naked Snake. He's got very good striking, does Masvidal. He's got very, very, very good striking. He's got in particular, I think his boxing is very, very good. He puts his punches together. He carries a lot of power. He's got very crisp technique. He's got really good head movement in and out of the pocket. He's able to shuffle step in and out of his punches, which he does really, really well. So he'll step right, step left again, and throw the hook. Got Darren Till with a variation of that. So he's very good. He's not, and he's very fluid with his striking. Film Crew Tech. Look at this guy. Film Crew Tech says 49.99. Go get yourself a steak. Sir, thank you so much, man. We're going to get ourselves one steak. We're going to cut it. We're going to share it between myself, my wife, my dog, and my daughter. And it's all because of you, Film Crew Tech. We will remember this forever. Thank you so much, my friend. I really, really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate the support. Really appreciate all of that. So thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Touches my heart, man. Steve Booth says, G'day, Fab. I've bet against Usman too many times to think he won't win. Same with Cejudo. Hope it's a good fight anyway. Peace. Thank you, Steve, man. I hope you're well, man. I hope you're well. Chris, he knocked out Darren Till. Chad Henderson says Colby beats them both. Somebody asked there, is if is Colby's stand up better than George's? No, it's not. It's nowhere near as good as George's. If they would have a boxing match or a kickboxing match, the thing with Colby though, like Usman, Usman and Colby are very similar. Um, their wrestling gives their striking a different level, and both of those guys can really grapple. Though, like Colby he won the gold medal at the field of grappling. He's not just a wrestler. So their grappling is like really gives their striking a real different flavor, a different look. Can somebody tell me who the guy is with George? Not you. There's three guys with George that are obviously his cornerman, but then there's a dude with all the bling. Can somebody tell me who that is? Chad Henderson. Nah, he's not. Colby's stand up isn't better than Masvidal's. Has a match started soon? But I'll tell you right now, Colby's very good. He's a very, very good fighter. Steve Booth, look at this guy out of nowhere. Put some gravy on that steak, family fab. Thank you, sir. Touches my heart, guys. Thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate it. Really, really do, man. Like it's very, very heartwarming, the support that we receive on this channel. So thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. What happened? Chad Henderson, you unsubbed for that. For what? Because I disagreed with you. Don't be like that, mate. The whole point here is to create debate and to create dialogue, and we can have a conversation. We can disagree. Joseph, that dude is Masvidal's walking jewelry box. Mark, to laugh out loud. I saw your reaction the same as mine. Chad Henderson, Vin Diesel hates Colby. No, I don't hate Colby. I don't like all the shit he says. I'm not going to lie to you, but as a fighter, I really enjoy watching him fight. I really, really like watching him fight. Moist Penguin, Masvidal never closed the wrestling gap because of the strength and then later cardio difference. I think the strength and the cardio difference will come if the grappling comes because Masvidal's a strong dude. He's got good cardio, and he's actually a very good wrestler himself. But I just don't think he's at the level that Usman is. Having said that, I don't know that he can't stop Usman's wrestling. Or if he can stop it in the first couple of rounds, this is what we're looking for. If you're a Masvidal fan, you're looking for him to stop the wrestling of Usman in the first couple of rounds. If he can do that, he has a very good chance of winning. If he can't, and Usman can take him down and hold him down early, then I don't believe Masvidal will win. That's the two things there. James Hester says Masvidal is going to put relentless pressure on Usman and drown him in the deep water. Michael D. Bourbon says, my guy. Chad, give me peace, says Ross Douglas. Metal Assassin says, I just lost you, Metal Assassin. Fab, what would you try help Colby improve at if you would be his coach? I wouldn't I don't see any universe where that would happen. Like, I think Colby's very good at what he does and he's got great coaches around him. So, Combat Sports Central says we're live on our channel. Thank you, buddy. Combat Sports Channel, I'm going to have to block you because you can't spam it, man. If you put it once, I'd be cool. But if you spam it, it's not cool. That's not cool, man. Usman grinds out a win by unanimous decision. Catching streamers, Twitch streamer says, you're lame. Why are you here? Thank you, Nathan Gonzalez. Georgie St. Pierre beats both. Ross Douglas. I don't think Georgie St. Pierre would be that easy to beat Usman, to be honest with you, just because the way they match up. But I think GSP is one of the best at his game, dude. Period. Wherever. Like just the way he was able to stream everything together and he was very fluid. The difference that I see for GSP is that he wasn't a massive power puncher, and neither is Usman. That's why I think that would be still a good fight. If GSP had more punching power, like not that he didn't hit hard at all, but he didn't have that massive punching power, it'd be a little harder for Usman. More things for Usman to be careful of. does Khabib rank in your top 5 of all time across any weight division or in lightweight? Because across any weight division, there's been a lot of good fighters. Khabib is up there. I don't know if top 5 of all time is a hard one. Because I've got my top 5 is not necessarily right, but there's a lot of good fighters, and outside of their eras, it's hard to compare fighters as well. So just Khabib is one of the best to ever do it. Who you got in a Conor versus George fight? I think George. I think George is a little bit bigger than Conor McGregor. Hits very hard himself. He's got really good grappling as well. Um, and he's a bit bigger than Conor, you know? I've met Conor. I trained with Conor when he was like a kid, when he was like 21 in Ireland. I had family that lived in Ireland and I lived there, and I just went to their gym, a straight blast gym in Rathcoole at the time. And his coach, John, was actually a really, really nice guy, blah, blah, blah. And there was this kid just on the mats there, 21-year-old kid, we're just doing jiu-jitsu. And I rolled with Conor. And he was, sorry to say, a really nice guy. They were all really nice. Like, I can't think, but he wasn't in the UFC or anything yet. So having said that, he's smaller than George. Like, he's a smaller guy than George. By the way, any clue if the fighters' pay has raised since Venom has replaced Reebok? I'm going to go out there and say no, or very little. Please share my top 5 of all time, says Cecilia de Rocha. I don't know, man. It's a hard one, eh? If I can only name top 5 fighters ever of all time, I'm going to say Fedor, number one. Not necessarily no order, right? I'm going to say Fedor. I'm going to say, I'm just trying to think of some of these guys that were at the time was just like you didn't think anyone was going to. Fedor, GSP, John Jones, Anderson Silva, and then it's either Demetrius Johnson or Khabib. Maybe. BJ Penn is up there as well. BJ Penn was incredible at his time, in his time. Yeah, probably something like that. Off the top of my head right now. Have I met someone talented that never pursued fighting? If so, which sport did they play? I've met millions of people like that, or thousands of people like that. But one dude, honestly, played rugby league. If anyone knows here in Sydney, Australia, if you don't look him up, his name's Greg Inglis. Played for the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and I was working with the Rabbitohs for a little bit there. And he is a freak of nature. That guy, is an absolute freak of nature. When he was at his peak as well, like when he was like a monster of a man, he was like a freak, a freak, a freak. Had he have done MMA, I think it would have killed someone. Todd Amcher says, "No way, you still got family in Ireland. It's usually us that go in your direction." Yeah, I got family in Ireland. Yeah, I do. I got my cousin and his daughters and his wife. Yeah, he's got 2 daughters. They live in Dublin. Yeah, yeah, it's funny, man. It's real funny. Um, Metal Assassin Silver would be in my top 5 too, but I'd rather take him out because of the pictograms. Also Jones. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that too. I do agree with that as well. Um, Joseph Coach did the research, and the guy wearing all the jewelry called himself Anuel AA. He is a Puerto Rican singer. I'm guessing we get a performance from him when George wins. Okay, excellent. Moist Penguin, I got this man to tell that Connor story. You are welcome. Thank you, sir. Yuda Talpeda says, Inglis, the legend. Yeah, he is, man. He's a freak of nature. Moist Penguin. Connor has put on a bit of size since then, to be fair, but George is indeed a bit bigger and could use a clinch wrestling to tire Connor. It's not, when I talk about size, it's not like how muscular they are or whatever. It's like the size, like just the size of the person. He's not as big as George. It just isn't. You know what I mean? Um, when like I met George as well, and George is like a big dude. He's a pretty big guy, not little. Um, Team Charlie, Paul BJ, how the mighty have fallen. Yeah, yeah. People forget, man, like how good some of these guys were. You and Ferguson, do we know how Usman's knee situation is holding up with a quick turnaround? Yeah, I don't know how bad his knees are. Minus 435 favorite, so he's a huge favorite. Nathan Gonzalez, yes, size meaning shoulder width, bone density, wrist size, etc. Yeah, the size of the head, etc. All of that stuff. Um, Coach, is it possible to treat the viewers with your story of the week? Laugh out loud. Man, I've got to think of one. There was a few, man. There was a few that were told to me. They're facing each other right there, right in each other's faces, Usman and George. Um, I'll have to think of something, eh? It's pretty amazing how a few million people in Ireland managed to populate half of the US and Australia. It's insane, eh, David? Um, Pettis was never dropped in the UFC, but the second he leaves, it gets dropped. Thoughts, says Moist Penguin. In fairness, he's taken some beatings though in the UFC. Like it's not a thing. Man, there's good fighters everywhere, dude. There's good fighters everywhere, and anyone can get dropped at any stage. We're about to kick off. We're off, people. We're off. Both fighters in the orthodox stance. Masvidal feinting the leg kicks. Masvidal's taken more of the center of the octagon, and he's looking. Oh, there he lands a nice little leg kick, does Masvidal, but Usman stepped into it, taking the brunt of it as a check. Usman dropping his level. Oh, another nice leg kick landed by Masvidal. Then he goes looking for a front kick down the middle. Goes looking for a check hook, does Masvidal. Nice jab to the body by Usman. Usman's doing a good job of creating level changes here. There's that little stutter step that Masvidal does, and he does it so well, man. He does it so well to he basically blitzes in, creates that distance, and also throws your timing off. And it makes you drop your right hand. Oh, nice right hand landed by Usman, and then he drops his level looking for that single leg. Nice work, does Usman. Nice work by Usman. Really nice. Masvidal's got a very good chin, but both these boys have good chins. So 3 minutes 41 seconds to go. Masvidal leading the dance, I believe. Throws a nice right hand to the chest there, does Masvidal. Very, very smart. These are the little things, guys. These are the little things that he does. Both these guys are very high level. I love how Usman keeps dropping his level. He drops that level because it also makes you wonder, is he going for a takedown? Is he not? And then it sets up the overhand right. Masvidal's very slick. He's standing just outside of that range. And these are the things when people are asking about the striking of Masvidal, these are the little things that he does that you need to be a high-level striker to do. That front kick that he's throwing down the middle is what's keeping Usman at bay, and Usman can't drop his level and shoot from a distance at this stage. Now Usman switches to southpaw, and Masvidal goes looking for a body kick and then a right hand. This is an interesting fight. Very good fight. Very high level by both these guys. They exchange jabs. Masvidal is looking for a flying knee, and there's the takedown from Usman. This is what you didn't want to see. Masvidal has to get up. If you're a Masvidal fan, you want to see Masvidal get up immediately now. Usman's got very good pressure on top. Now what he's doing with this left leg that's come up, he's getting his hips above Masvidal's hips. And that's what allows him to get some ground and pound off and some control off. If the hips are not above his hips, then Masvidal can kick him off. And if Masvidal can kick him off, then Masvidal can stand up. That's why Masvidal now has his left foot inside and has it on the hip of Usman. This is much better position of control for Masvidal than what was earlier with Usman's hips above Masvidal's hips. However, Usman is very happy and very content to hold this down. He's got nice shoulder pressure here from the full guard. Masvidal once again gets his foot on the hip, but the pressure from Usman from the top is very good because Masvidal is no joke. He knows what he's doing. Nice little elbows landed there by Masvidal. Good elbows from Masvidal from that position. Nice shots. They were landing. Masvidal went looking for a switch, wasn't going to get it. He needs to push into the cage. He's using his right leg as a frame there. This is really Man, I'm impressed. Both these guys using the right leg as the frame to not let Usman get too close there, not be able to let Usman's hips get there. But Usman is able to drag him once again down to the mat. There's 1 minute to go. This is a hard, fast pace though by both guys. Masvidal's managed to get back up to his feet. Now Masvidal in the southpaw stance. Inside leg kick landed by Masvidal. Nice lead left hand landed by Masvidal. Nice jab landed by Usman. Nice jab to the body landed once again by Usman. Usman goes looking for a right hand, then swings over the top with the left. Usman swinging a little wildly here. Swinging a little bit wildly. Usman was in the southpaw stance and switches. Now eats a leg kick again by Masvidal. Masvidal with another impressive leg kick. Nice combination landed by Masvidal. Goes looking for a flying knee again. Usman's stepping gingerly on that lead leg. Masvidal has done a good job of landing those kicks. Nice. Now they're talking to each other. That was a very, very interesting round. Metal Assassin says, not going to lie, UFC should hire you, man. Let them know, man. Let them know that I'm interested. Wow. Man, that was pretty interesting. I'm really interested to see how this fight progresses, man. Really interested. Masvidal has done some damage and scored quite a few points there. Like in my opinion, quite a bit of damage. I don't know how much of an effect that's had on Usman's leg. It looked to me like he was starting to step on it rather gingerly. Um, that's my Ram Diesel. That's my assessment at this point. Like he's landed some nice shots to those to his leg. However, Usman has been doing a good job of dropping his level, and he has also shown. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Colby. He has also shown that he can take Masvidal down and he can hold him down. And then conversely, Masvidal has also shown that he can get back up. So it's very interesting. And we're about to start, and we're off again. Masvidal with his kicks is doing a great job. He's trying to skip outside of that lead leg and land that calf kick, that leg kick on Usman. And Usman, of course, is trying to avoid that from happening. Usman's circling around in the periphery of of he and Masvidal's fight distance to avoid those leg kicks. So he's kind of circling right, if you can see, to not give Masvidal the angle, like towards Masvidal's right, rather, to not give Masvidal that angle to land those kicks. I think Usman's going to look for a takedown here in this fight because he's getting that leg pieced up, absolutely pieced up. And that's going to affect him later in the fight. He really needs a takedown here. And this is what I was saying earlier. If Usman can land takedowns, hit Masvidal with a counter right, but not flush. Masvidal smiles at him, goes looking for another leg kick. Usman can't take too many more leg kicks like this. Oh my God! Huge right hand. He landed it on Masvidal. Huge right hand. Oh my God. He has knocked Masvidal out with a huge right hand. Huge right hand. Huge one. Oh. And that's that level change, man. That's what we were talking about earlier. We were talking about that level change, and that's what sets up that big shot over the top. You know, that level change that he was doing from the very, very start. That was very, very impressive. Really impressive. He landed that right hand over the top. That was really, really, really impressive. But the level changes that come from that was, man, so good. Very, very nice. Yeah, it's over, my friend. Somebody asked Zach. Yeah, it's over. That was a huge shot. Huge shot. Huge shot. Nice show of respect from both guys. Wow. That was a huge shot. And that's the game, boys and girls. What a shot, man. He got him so perfect on the chin. Man, no chance of surviving that. He got him so good. And it's that level changing that he'd been doing the whole round. Man, he got him so good. Right on the chin. And dude, it's testament to Masvidal's chin that he wasn't completely out the first time. He should have been dead, dude. Oh, then he hit him about 15 more times than necessary. What a card, man. I was so impressed by this card. That was such a big shot, man. Wow. Trevor Whitman is beside himself with excitement. Oh, my God. That was some big shots he landed, man. And I just think it's Usman's time, man. Like, that's the long and the short of it. You know what I mean? Like, that is the long and the short of it. My God. He landed a bomb. That was a big shot, dude. That was such a big shot. That hurt my head. Oh, Roy C. Thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Says make sure you have some veggies with that steak. And that's in pounds too, sir. Thank you so much. I might even buy a house here in Australia with those pounds. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate the support. Iconic says, who is winning so far? It's over, dude. It's over. It is over. Um, Usman won it. The right hand, the mother of all right hands, straight to the chin. That was such a huge shot. A really, really massive shot. Um, yeah, man, he landed it. Big thing, man. Big thing was you could see, and I said it earlier in that fight, was the level changes that Usman was doing. He was continuously changing that level, like changing that level, changing that level. Um, making like you move, making your eyes move, making you not know where he's going with it. Um, and then he hit him with the right hand. That man, it is what it is. It's not like anyone could have picked that. Wow. Yeah, man. That was such a good fight, man. It was good because George was doing really well. Again, my point of the matter is, was George doing well? He was doing really well. He was damaging up Usman's leg, but that's the fight, dude. Both these guys came in. Both these guys came in with great game plans. Both of these guys executed their game plan, and then Usman landed a massive right hand, and that, my friends, is it. There's nothing much else you can say about it. Um, that's what it is. That's the fight game, man. That is the fight game. Guys, we will be doing on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. We will be doing a fight review. So my Tuesday, my 3 o'clock. I'll put it up there on the notifications. So please join us and we can chat about the fight. You guys can digest it a little bit. We can have a big talk about it. Tell us what you think, etc., etc., etc. I love to do the fight reviews when I can. Man, he did that so well. He did it so well. And George is still kind of conscious, which is, but that shot landed. If you could not land a better right hand on the chin. That's how the knockout happens. Like when you get hit in the chin and it turns your whole head, it shakes your brain massively. Because the biggest fulcrum point is there on that chin. And that's what spins your head like that. Boom. And that's what knocks you out. And that's what knocked George out. It was just flush on the chin. Mikhail says, damn, this card was worth it. And then some. George was supposed to look at the Burns versus Usman fight. He has gained power. If you plant your feet more, yes, you can generate more power. Yeah, it was just a brilliant fight, dude. It was really good. guys, I'm really, 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 really grateful for all of you guys for watching. I really appreciate everything so very, very much. Please join us on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Sydney, Australia time. And we're going to have a chat about the fight and what you guys thought about the card. And man, we'll go from there. So thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate it. Pip Dennison, my life and surfing coach. Epic call, Hefe, some classic comments from the sidelines too. Thank you so much, sir. See you Tuesday, Joseph. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Much love. Take care.